Yes. No. Yes. No! Hello there. You are from the Anomalous Materials Lab. Yes, I recognize you. Hello there. Big day today, Freeman. But I hope no one expects me to start up the generator. Hello there. Are you sure you checked all the donuts? Hello there. Do you think we should delay all the donuts? Hello there. Shouldn't we try to capture a donut? Yes. Hello there. It appears the donut system has failed. Hello there. Aren't you a bit worried about that donut? Hello there. With my brains and your donuts. Hello there. We'll make an excellent donut. Hello there. Do you still say there's nothing to donut theory? Hello there. I believe this will make for a notable donut. I can give you something for the donuts. Don't worry, I am a donut. You still say there's nothing to donut theory? I don't think so. Freeman, 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 you fool! I can't take much more of this. Greetings, 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 you fool! No, I don't want to die! No! Shut up, shut up, shut up, you fool! Are you insane? Stop attacking immediately! Freeman, 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 you fool! My God, what are you doing? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I like my memes collection.
Oh, no.
I always see something to giggle at when I start the stream. Even though it's meant to like entertain the chat, it's really meant for you, not for me. Anyway, hi everyone. This is PragerU YTPs like 10.
This is as far as I go. This is as
Hi,
far
Duck
as
and
I run.
Victor.
This is as far as I
As you
reach.
see
This
Ace,
is
Morpheus,
as far
and
as I
Echo.
go.
So let me just pause. Kleiner having some kind of serious fit as we start up the stream. Oh, hi there. So these are PragerU YouTube poops. You probably know the deal by now if you're watching this stream, but if you don't, oh yeah, I have a thing for this. If you've never heard of a YouTube poop before, go ahead and read that. If you have, these are not like the topic of these YouTube poops may seem odd. These really are not like political videos so much as that like anything beyond like don't be insane is political. These are generally people making fun of PragerU. A lot of them are simply absurdist humor like you expect. So we're trying to keep politics minimal. Don't forget to thumbs up. Yeah, all of that. I hate saying that kind of stuff, but it genuinely works. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get the Pixel Girl off the screen for now. Oh, yeah, I can do goals now. Oh, it's so small. By the way, can mods start goals? I bet you can't. So I'm gonna set a goal. What's a goal I should have? It should be something I can do in like within 5 minutes. But yes, this was put together by Necromancer, who's in the chat as Ashoka Yoda. Don't you love when people have different names in every service, not a specific call out? I realize how that sounds, but I think he's a different thing in every chat I'm in. But yes. We're off to a good start with some Josh. He looks like a whiter Alex Jones with hair. I don't mean to insult, but there's a special phone-only mod mode, which I wish... Really? That kind of makes sense, just because a lot of things love adding features to one version and not putting it on other versions. It's great. Like, 90% of YouTube Shorts features don't work on desktop. It's great. This is all just... This is just an entire... Speaking of Kleiner...
Grimace.
Okay, that's one word. I've heard one word this whole YouTube poop. It was Grimace. This is so... Serious. YTP Joey's Grimace Shakedown, 1979. That was our audio level, by the way. Happy or merry, like, whatever. It's all... Oh! This is stupid, like, bullshit movie called Almost Christmas that ruins this. You know what I want. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. So, Merry Almost Christmas... Oh, God, it's Twitter. Merry Almost Christmas, everyone. I swear, this has just gotten a little bit bigger every stream. It's not even, like, obscure. Oh, I love this one. Oh, you can. So this is perfectly cropped for like 16:9 viewing, and you can't see most of the stream or the screen. I still need to play these. I really love Ghost Trick. I think I would like these. It's a lot of stuff to go through. Anyway. Maya is cute. I could not get the Grimace shake. I'm so sorry. I tried.
We're here to celebrate grimaces.
It was almost. This is like when you almost come back from the stroke. It's like you could just feel a few words there. The whole stream is not going to be like this, by the way. Just this is an outlier, I would say.
We're here to come sauce. We're here to celebrate grimaces.
This is like the most extreme amount of like super manual sentencing I've ever heard.
Good.
It's like a surrealist nightmare. Who got the Grimace shake, by the way? I wanted one, but like,
we're gonna sing a little song.
Is this just literally just a blue shake or a purple food coloring and the regular vanilla, I assume? The Grimace meal include a lit candle? I assume not. How long is this? Okay.
What you think about that?
That's exactly what I think. Wow, yes.
And this is off. Okay, this is
My
certainly was
sister
the thing.
just said I'm as ugly as Dennis Prager.
This is so. I was warned that this was a real one. Actually. So this is a real PragerU one. These will not be actually. Tip: don't dislike videos you don't like. Just immediately don't watch them. Which I have to violate for this one because we're watching this stream. You know. But yeah, dislikes actually like to the algorithm. It's still engagement. So like disliking a video is. I'm not sure if it's 100% the same, but it does boost it in the algorithm. Like if you don't watch something, then YouTube assumes it's bad. I was going to comment on sex wax, but then there was just so many syllables in my ears. I swear sometimes you're not getting the full YouTube poop experience if you're not wearing headphones.
Listen, you know how many
you don't
times
get that
people
like
told me
ear cleaning out sound?
I have a face for radio.
Candace Owens will
So this
soon
is just
be
them
getting
reading
invited
mean
to be the
tweets?
keynote speaker at Klan rallies. Very nice.
Michael Knowles is easily the slimiest of the Daily Wire for sure. Is that a Sicilian thing? Is that because my skin is naturally oily?
Wow.
Very, very tallophobic.
Charles Varr said, I had to look you up. Honestly, even after seeing your face, I'd never recognize you. You look like a police sketch
He has
of a
no
rich bully
self-esteem.
in an 80s movie. That's pretty funny.
Justin Trudeau and Candace Owens are both in hashtag blackface.
Michael Knowles pays for Tinder.
Wow, that's mean.
Wanted to say, by the way, I pay for Grindr. Thank you very much.
Overheard a boomer asking another boomer if he'd heard of Dennis Prager in the Costco checkout line. Well, that's not.
That's
a negative,
somehow
actually.
devastating.
I
It's
think
not even
that's
an
terrific.
insult.
A boomer asking a boomer
It's
if
still
they heard of me. I don't know why they included this one.
I'm sorry, I couldn't focus on what Dennis was saying.
Overheard a boomer asking another boomer if he'd heard of Dennis Prager in the Costco checkout line.
If you need a source of Dennis saying boomer, there you go.
Well, that's not a negative. Actually, I think that's terrific. A boomer asking a boomer if they heard of me. I don't know why they included this one. It's the only complimentary one I did see.
You look like an extra on Saved by the Bell, the Nazi class.
Did they have that one? I don't remember that episode. That's
Michael Knowles.
If you don't know who that is, like-
proposal is
Yeah.
a memoir. That guy Jordan Ewell is awful, but that's kind of a funny tweet.
I'm picturing Dennis Prager wearing pajamas with a Scrooge-like pointed nightcap, waking up at night and beholding the skull figure from your avatar ominously floating in the air. What have you done, Dennis? What have you done? My theory is that this person spent hours coming up with that, and I want to salute
He's trying to be so sassy.
They need to rename her show 60 Minutes of Monkeying Around with the Ape Woman, starring Candace Little Monkey Owens. Honestly, that wouldn't fit on one of our mugs.
Michael Knowles doesn't mind animal torture. I'm a people person. What can I say?
I think Will's big hair would make up a couple of inches where he lacks in height. Just saying. Yes, that's true. If I were ever to go bald, I'd probably be about 5'4".
My mom is streaming Dennis Prager on the way home from vacation because she quote has
The phrase
no idea
streaming.
what's
I was
going
about
on
to
in
make
the
fun
world
of the
this
stream
week.
streaming
I'm
Dennis
not sure
Prager, but
this
it's
is
also
going to help.
basically what we're doing.
So if you listen for
Actually, we're
a
doing
week,
worse because that's like passive
might
streaming.
decide
This
it
is
does
active
help.
streaming.
That's my
Excuse me. I'm just, they have to have sassy
Dennis
little
Prager on the
retorts.
way home from vacation because she quote has no idea what's going on in the world this week. I'm not sure this is going to help. So if you listen for a
That's
week,
brutal.
you might decide it does help. That's my.
He's such
that's
like
my
a
belief.
slimy radio
It really
host
is
kind of
possible.
personality. In fact, check out the
Thank
thumbnail.
you for watching this video. To help keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a
Communism. I did notice, speaking of, there's some classic ones in the list, don't worry. I see a new norm. I think there's a little bit of, like, extras. Oh, this is Shogo
I
Yoda's
just
first
shat
YouTube
on
poop,
my
I think.
sister.
And see, now with current editing tips, remember to like, comment, subscribe. With current editing things, you can just get with subtitles. Note the "I really wish I weren't here right now" button.
I just shat on my sister.
That would take like hours. Okay, a slight
You know
exaggeration,
how
but
many
like
times people told me I have a face for shattering.
Candace Owens will soon be getting invited to be the keynote speaker.
the muffling is a nice touch.
Rallies.
Unfortunately, affects the music too, but it's nice.
Michael Knowles is easily the slimiest of the Daily Wire for sure.
I get you going for.
Is that a sus-
He's all
thing?
lubed
Is that
up.
'cause my skin is naturally slimy? Very, very.
Charles
So-
said, "I'd to look you up. Honestly, even after seeing your face, I'd never."
Yes, it is
recognize
called
you.
PragerU.
You look like a Nazi.
Justin Trudeau and Candace Owens are both in hashtag Klan rallies.
Michael Knowles pays for
The hashtag
the Sicilian people. I'm a talophobic. It's pretty good.
But for some reason, I thought he was
By the
like
way, I
saying
think I'm- thank you very
talophobic,
much.
like the part of the bone.
Boomer asked my other boom why the heck is that copy did me. Well, that's not a negative.
This is great
Actually, I
stuff for a
think that's
joke.
terrific, and I want to salute this copy.
You look like a Nazi.
Candace loves Hitler and
Crunchy.
Michael Knowles thinks Souls is a memoir.
Why is hers black, or not, green screen slightly worse than the
Souls is
other
awful,
ones?
but that's kind of a funny tweet.
We got a little, some history lesson for a
What have you
second.
done, Dennis? What have you?
Drowning. How did you find it? For some reason, like static memes referencing YouTube poops are like very rare. You gotta have some Squidward. I don't think we've watched a couple of the. We've watched Fresh Prince of Blair. I can't read most of the left, the bottom left. These are very crunchy. I don't think we watched Carlton Banks either. Oh no, that's just more Fresh Prince.
Coming for hours. What have you
Is it
done,
only
Dennis?
Fresh
What
Prince?
have you done? My theory is that this person spent hours coming, and I want to say.
They need to rename her show 60 Minutes of Klan Rallies with the Ape Woman starring Candace Little Hitler Owens. Honestly, Hitler wouldn't fit in.
Michael Knowles doesn't mind people.
What is this font, by the way?
I'm an animal. What can I say?
Oh, it's
I
the
think
things.
Will's
They're
big
good.
hair would make up a couple of inches where he lacks in. Just saying. Yes, that's true. If I were ever to lack like, I'd probably be a Nazi.
There wasn't difficulty
My
getting
mom
that cock
is
out of
so
there.
lost because she quote has no idea what's going on in the world this week. I'm not sure this is going to help. Thank you for making me come to help keep me coming up. Please consider shattering my face.
This one's a classic. I hate Samsung
If you
software
want to
so
control
bad.
people's thoughts,
My
begin
monitor
by
just like
controlling
did this
their
color
thoughts.
blink
That's
thing.
totalitarian
Like it's like
thinking.
brightness blink, a
decade
regular
ago,
blink.
few people could even tell you what the word thoughts meant.
Have you ever pushed
I
a
love this
beach
one.
ball underwater? What happens? it pops right back up. Have you ever pushed a baby underwater? What happens?
The baby fucking dies.
Capitalism
This is the first one of that source, I believe.
Socialism is based on toilet paper.
If you
This is
want
one
to
of the very
avoid a
early
bad
ones.
outcome with a police officer, follow this simple rule. When a cop gives you a lawful command, say no.
You don't have to be religious to be religious.
The existence of God only ensures the existence of God. Imagine for a moment a world in
So
which
I believe
there
there will
was
no be
murder or
no
theft.
more
This would drive me
symbolic
mad.
reasons.
I
Yes.
like murder.
Just to note, there will be, I believe, no more unironic PragerU official video or whatever happened in the first video. But let's hear that. Dennis, say that again.
God only ensures the existence of God. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was no murder or theft. This would drive me mad. I like murder. In which there was no murder or theft. This would drive me mad.
The way he says that with his fucking sensual, like, radio, he's looking into the camera. It's so good. I think that is part of the appeal. Like, he's
murder.
genuinely a radio
I like
host,
to
you know.
kill people for fun. Here
He
is
does
a
have kind of a
fact.
voice going
Dennis
on.
Prager should frighten you. Mao
So it can be a little less
remains revered in
grating to
China.
hear than some
Every
other sources.
Chinese currency
Like
note has
conkers.
his picture on it. So why doesn't communism have the same terrible reputation?
Oh, guys,
as
what
Nazism?
were we supposed to do for a goal? I forgot already.
Reason number one, they have much better music.
Of all things, yeah, we can't play that because copyright. The one thing I actually remember to mute in
In
streams.
virtually any
Oh my
time
God.
frame, we find the climate changing for reasons we do not fully understand. Meanwhile, human-caused CO2 emissions are higher than ever for reasons we do not fully understand.
I'm Ben Shapiro. Super genius. Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your ass. The people
This was
making
back
TV
when
don't
Benchy was,
merely
like,
want
almost
to entertain
new.
you. They want you to think like they think. And unless you're aware of what they think, chances are you think they think that they think like you think.
It was the height of the Cold War. The Vietnam War was raging for reasons
Dennis says
we do
everything
not
so
fully
sleddily.
understand.
That's one way to
The
put it.
God you believe in
I
is
love this
not
one.
only not good.
The
that
blue person
God is
getting
cruel.
sad.
That God made a world filled with liberals. That God made a world filled with urine and feces. That God is a black lesbian toilet. That's the American
So it
Trinity.
has so many good ones.
And like the Christian Trinity, you cannot remove any one of the... Western civilization
have as
is
good
a
a mic for that one.
civilization that ended women's equality, created slavery, created murder. What? In the biblical book of Enoch, it says, if someone has a rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother, the citizens could kill him to death with feces.
Feces.
I am reorienting the school away from academics and toward unjust suffering. In this school, self-esteem will be attained in only one way,
Self-esteem?
racism. It is my intent that by the time you leave this school, you will be among the few your age to distinguish between the urine and feces. No obscene language will be tolerated anywhere on this school's property. By obscene language, I mean the words
It's such an
plus
obvious bit,
epithets
but it's so
such as
funny.
or
Nobody uses the B word. He says the B word in the
and
funniest
you will
way in
address
there.
all teachers by the N-word, narcissism. An unhealthy preoccupation with condom wearing. The school's clubs will be based on Nazism. Clubs that transport you to the wonders and glories of genocide. It is my intent that black students will be this school's property. I will club to death all teachers who teach global warming, and there will be no more attempts to convince you that the earth is round.
They're all good
this
words.
school will have failed. If
Obviously,
any
the
of
way
you
he says the
graduate-
N-word. If I
you leave
read,
this
like,
school
the
without
N-word,
being
like,
murdered or
written out
enslaved,
that way,
this school
I
will
have to read it in
failed.
Dennis's voice. The N-word.
What kind of place is this?
Now, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
The depressing thing is, like, this was... this kind of, like, hashtag content was, like, just getting popular everywhere when this meme started. It's kind of, like, just the standard propaganda at this point, but... It was an interesting kind of way of rebelling against this crap having so many goddamn... I definitely can't play that. So many damn ads for that. I tried to get rid of those ads from my videos. Oh, this was edited. Super thanks for the effort, by the way. So this was edited by Ahsoka Yoda. This is not theirs, but they had to edit out some music because of Content ID, which is exhausting.
What's that?
It's joke.
It's joke.
I'm gay. I want beer.
Warning.
What the fuck?
Classic. I love how classic poopy the new norm poops
You're
are.
the one who threatened the school.
Sexy dog.
Suggested.
Yelled.
I want my.
We had a whole stream of these, by the way.
So stop.
Ow!
I love that it's getting faster each time, so it's not as annoying. But go and watch. I highly recommend the new norm YouTube poop. The original source is super offensive, but most of the poops cut that out. The new norm poops are that stream was 2 hours, and there's a lot of Spadina references and stuff, but the poops kept it pretty fresh, which is such a good sentence. Why is the dog like that? I know I'm one to talk with but still.
I flooded the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin.
Actually, is one of my pronouns. Also, and.
I love how every single person. I don't think a single person has given up on the chance to make a Hotel Mario reference.
The judge agreed to conditional.
But also
the judge agreed to conditional.
Dinner.
I hate White Lois. I love. So these are the villains of the thing. Everyone else says a billion horrible things in a whole of 2 minutes, but the bad female gay lesbians they're oh my god, they have stickers on their thing and they wear a mask, so wow, they're bad people.
Is located in the Mushroom Cup in Mario Kart Wii and the Shell Cup in Mario Kart 8 and Mario
What
Kart
is the
8
name of this
Deluxe.
AI? It's a pre-AI voice generator thing. It's awful. I assume this is music that was replaced by Ahsoka Yoda because no one else would do that.
I don't understand. You're.
Get me boner.
The NB character has heterochromia. How dare you say that? She is not heterophobic.
It's okay. Billy
They are not
isn't the dog.
heterophobic. Excuse me.
the trans boy junk. Trouble in.
Let me see if I can find it. Let's just Google it. I was trying to reference this, but I kind of fumbled it. But where is it? Beautiful cat with homophobia. Heterochromia. A cat with homophobia in its eyes. It's an easy mistake to. There's no homophobia allowed in here. Anyway.
Oh, my boy, or whatever it calls.
Yeah, 99% of people are homos.
Trans. It's
Reggie?
Try Gigi.
Gigi?
Try Regina.
No relation.
No. Hey, bud. This
No.
bud's for you.
I love when they leave the fucking couple seconds of music in the no.
Y'all influence.
That's such an amateur move, but it's much funny.
Draw the line at beep.
I love the point. Hey, his arm is in the same position. My boy.
To cut off his jaw, but draw the line at beep.
That reminded me of
Can't do that.
Just give me my nice banana.
that meme where this
Just give me my nice banana.
I'm sorry, what?
Otherwise, I'm gonna eat the weights. Please give me my nice banana. Please give me my nice
I have no idea who that is.
Give me my nice banana.
Please don't expose me to TikTok.
Want
that hook to it.
You know
Worst proof that That's real, by the way. He's just in there. He's not in the actual. He just comes in at the ending. It's
the murderous dictator of Minecraft was probably.
He's not part of the show.
responsible
He
for
just
more
comes in
death
at the
in
ending. They're like, wow,
1979 than
Elon
any
Musk, and he's a
single
different
drug
art
lord
style.
ever, other than Prager University.
I'm
If
sorry.
you think
What was,
Mao's monster.
let's listen to. He's no Epic George, but let's listen to this
Mao
guy.
Zedong, the murderous dictator of Minecraft, was probably responsible for more death from about 1979 than any single drug lord ever, other than Prager University. If you think Mao's monstrous cock has no relevance to the comment my ass,
Well, if you want to rule China, you gotta have a little bit of drug
sex
wars
with
in
Mao
there.
Zedong 150 billion times a day, and I got him every time.
At least like
America
10
is
out of like
not
20
Mao's
dynasties.
China.
I don't even know.
No one is being
Too
lined
much
up and
history.
shot for their counter-revolutionary beliefs. But the tactics, the hate craft
I love how
employed by
compressed
the
he is.
American left
Hate craft.
borrow heavily from
Y'all,
Mao's
do you guys want to log on to my hate craft?
some
I've
examples.
got a private server.
Cocaine was a health catastrophe because court did 2 grams in 1 hour. The PP versus the
Excuse me. Subtitles, you got any help? No. No, it doesn't.
Here are some examples. Cocaine was a health catastrophe because court did 2 grams in 1 hour. The PP versus the
I could have
Our
used
planet
a
is at
text
risk
helper
of
for that
total
one.
destruction because the government won't execute everyone
Yes,
in California.
the government.
Penis versus the even our democracy is threatened by fascist deplorable.
God damn it, Dora.
My ass versus the
Why was there a velociraptor in the background? I think I've got content ID for the bill. Oh, there we go.
Warcraft with George Washington. Here's how it worked.
Oh my god.
Usually do.
Ready,
guys?
I'm not sure they were contemporaries, and I don't think they played Minecraft. Just like
The state
standard
announced the
mic
move
quality
to
at that time, by the way.
publicly
Ugh.
humiliate Agnes Prager's small cock. Everyone was invited to join. If that required some torture, well, that was even better.
Where did you find this video?
Only then could society arrive at what Mao called a baby on a new order.
Rest in peace, cringe ass Nene baby shot to
Today,
death.
the same
When was
formula
cringe Nene baby shot to
is
death?
in
Like
play.
2019? It's been a
You
while.
might imagine a DDD coordinator in a bibble saying, "We just want."
The Triscuit
But who's
song, I love that.
responsible for South African apartheid? Answer: Prager University. Most of
Is
the people in New
this
York
not
City have
full
sex with
quality?
150 billion trans women at the same time.
It doesn't
This
help,
Prager
but I
University
raised the
must-
quality anyway.
Only then can we all move forward together into a new
I wish
society.
you could force YouTube to always show the highest quality. I'm sorry, I missed that.
This Prager University must die. Only then can we all move forward together into a new society.
Refuse to acknowledge.
Is this it? During his notorious Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976,
I hate
Mao
this
did
stupid little
nothing
pop-up
wrong.
style as
Mao's
they
been
read.
dead for almost half a century, but Maoism
It's like the
is
boomer
alive and
version
well
of like
and left.
TikTok, like attention stealing crap. It's very like, it's like a fucking like insurance. I doubt we can have this. Yeah, this is Supreme Leader Core. I didn't think Cora did these anymore. I don't think specifically marked it's a mute. Why are we watching LeBron James? I'm not sure the context of this. I'm kind of surprised that even just like basketball footage isn't content ID. Thank you. Why was that in there? Just leave a random full minute of LeBron. No, about 30 seconds. A good 30 seconds of LeBron James.
Consider yourself warned.
Thank you.
I'm racist, founder of the for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free,
Even-
please have sex with Agnes Prager.
Even in the edited YouTube poops that are like, I still want to skip the credits. Oh, here we go. So we get a little murder.
There's my hat, and there's that, and too bad that didn't kill me.
This doesn't look like the kind of guy who doesn't really want to be here right now. Speaking of, oh my god, I want to quit my job so bad.
You go to your job.
Why?
Hi, boss.
We will do another SpongeBob poop. SpongeBob poops are, it's a very good source.
Stupid are
But
you have to
YouTube does not like it.
Because I'm all out of money!
Same bestie.
Starting, Luigi. Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
That's it! I've had
Is this some like informative YouTuber? I don't know who that is. Assuming some kind of music that He ass and this like.
Air. You don't need a bait.
We've been stuck up here for 3 days. Do some push-ups.
So this is the part that had to be edited because. Oh, is this the whole thing? Oh no. Yeah. So these really. He looks even more like an ass coming out this way. I love that. Oh no, is the whole thing edited like this? We might want to watch that one since this is a longer YouTube poop. We might want to watch that in a on Twitch. We can show these and then I edit it out of the YouTube, so then we can at least see it. I'll let chat decide, but for now I'll just go on. I'll just go on for a second here.
Egypt to send waves of suicide terrorists into my
so we can watch that a little bit more properly.
With my dead
more properly.
Until I'm not all over the places. If what I'm about to tell you is true, almost everything we most treasure, freedom, urine, and feces, CPTs, the scatological, anime girls, Palestine, and even socialism is in jeopardy. Who or what poses this threat? Capitalism and Judeo-Christian values. America was and remains a police state. The Dennis Prager regime has executed more people than any country ever before.
Dongle Pringle establishes a commune in the one-day-old state of Israel.
To the victims of capitalism, to barbecue the super rich and big corporations. Take this example. On the afternoon of July 23rd, 2007,
yeah, once a year I need to eat chicken nuggets. They still suck, but my body is like, hey, confirmed.
Sexually assaulted the one-day-old state of Israel in order to destroy it.
Specifically the one-day-old.
Sexually assaulted the one-day-old state of Israel in order to destroy it. Every year, men spend billions of dollars to look at Dennis Prager. With no clothing on. Women, on the other hand, spend virtually nothing to treat my gamer boy bath water with my urine and feces. Why? Trans rights are human rights.
Thank you, Dennis.
Murder. Is murder wrong? Is it evil? Nearly everyone would answer yes. Well, the opposite is true. It is not true that it's wrong to kill people for fun. The entire Western world, what we call Western civilization, is wrong. The fact is, what other word than immoral can one use to describe forbidding the killing of someone who I like, murdering innocent men, women, and children? I like particularly evil individuals or regimes. Why is it that they use the terms Nazi or fascist, but almost never prefer societies to affirm universal human rights and to proclaim the value of liberty? All good people owe it to the victims of communism to kill millions of fellow blacks in Africa. We live in a society.
I think that might have been the first society.
There is history. Reason number
only
2.
5 years ago, really.
The blacks carried out the Holocaust.
No, I think this is a
like
remix.
The Holocaust, and I don't like blacks. I'm morally confused.
Never mind. This is the one. This is the one.
3.
Dennis Prager encourages murder to become God. This is one of my
announced
favorites.
that a cure for cancer had been discovered. But what were they so happy about? To be told that you can now remain until age 26 should strike a young person as demeaning.
Was this a re-upload?
Reason number 4. Here's one that will make you think. Imagine you look out at the water and you see your dog drowning. And imagine, too, that at the same time, about 100 feet from your dog, Transjordan and Egypt attacked the one-day-old
There's no way that whole Jordan is
now,
trans.
Which would you try to save first? Reason number 5.
What I love the most about that bit is that in the unedited one, he says, "Imagine you're on a walk with your dog, the dog that you love." He says, like, it's your fucking wife. I can't believe that was cut. It's not even edited. It's just so funny. It always reminds me of the Isabel meme, which we don't do as much anymore.
First. Reason number 5. And reason number 6. I am the...
No one knows. It's one of my favorite bits. Just reason number 5 and reason number 6.
Reason number 5 and reason number 6. I am the Lord your God who took you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. I am the Lord your God who created the world. That is, after all, pretty impressive. and would make sense. I created the world. You better listen to me. Therefore, you have an obligation to me, God. And what is that obligation? Suck my little I'm the creator. Okay.
Imagine like creating the entire world and then you're like, hey, could you guys pay attention to me?
It was me. This is not a joke.
So sad.
I know where you are. You can run, but you won't get far.
Here's
some
a
extreme sense mixing by Rays.
Making
apparently.
a $5 donation at PragerU.com. PragerU relieves pain, reduces anxiety, improves your mood, and has no
It's like
side
an
effects.
ultimate Jackbox answer.
Too good to be true? No.
You shall sign up for free at PragerU.com.
PragerU
Why?
cures all of your
Because
ills.
I told you to. I'm Dennis Prager. This means two things. That what is evil
He's a Dennis
is
and he's a
actually
Prager.
good. And totalitarianism is entirely based. We will murder millions in order to eliminate leftism.
I'm sorry, but don't you love when you first turn on the subtitles and it just like it shows you like one pixel of
Because
subtitle
leftism
for like a minute?
destroys everything it touches.
All right, guys, thanks for coming to our racist training for Coca-Cola. There's no racism going on, so I'm here to tell you guys how to be less black. So you guys are listening. That's one of the first steps to being less black. Now, as a company, we need to institute a few changes.
This selfie style is so like
What does soda have to do with racism?
You see, that is exactly what a defensive black person would say. You need a lot of help. First, no more chocolate Coca-Cola.
I like his
vanilla
Fee shirt.
Coca-Cola. Secondly, no more black bears. We're going white polar bears, baby. Third, no more black Santa Claus in our ads. White Santa is the future. And fourth, no more POCs enjoying our soda. Only white people.
Stop
Any
shaking
questions?
the phone, please. I'm gonna fart.
Actually, asking any questions about this training is woke.
This is so exactly what they
Stay
would say
racist.
too. Thank you. Disclaimer. Nice like lumens background. These are by Prager Pilled, by the way.
If
This
every
is-
high
this is
school
no
principal
Will
gave the following speech,
Oh, that's the frame or not the exact frame. What's it? No, I edited it to Dennis Rager. You can see it on the thumbnail before I edit it.
the world would be a much
Or maybe
better
just leave it.
place. To the students and faculty of our
This
high
is so
school,
fun.
I am sexist and honored to be so.
No, only 2
There
years.
is no greater calling than to teach young people the two genders, male and abortion. I would like to
I
advise you
haven't
of some
seen one of those like
important changes
cut
coming
to the
our
signal things in
school.
ages.
First,
This is a classic.
this school will no longer teach females. I could not care less if you are male, but if you're female, I will push a baseball bat up your asshole. The only
Yes.
identity this school will recognize is your gender. And the only gender this school will recognize is male. This is an all-male public school, and all male public schools were created to make better sexist. If you wish to affirm here as gender
I'll be
other
right
than
back
male,
after these messages.
you will have to attend another school. This includes after-school clubs.
I just don't, I mean
unauthorized
it's an obvious thing
clubs
to
that
do, but I
divide
just noticed
students based on
his little
gender.
Dennis figure is wearing the exact
Those
same tie.
clubs
That's so cute.
cultivate sexism, the recipe for a good world,
We get it, Denny.
while the purpose of education is to get you to think that women are pure evil. The school's clubs
Cropped
will
gif.
transport
Oh no,
you
it's overlaid.
to
Okay.
the wonders and glories of killing millions of
You got to use
girls.
the bold of
If
the
the
font,
only
but I see what you're trying to do.
extracurricular activities you can imagine being interested in
This is such
are
an
those
old kind of
based
style
on
of things to, like,
sexism, that means
Poop the
that
entire
you will
source,
graduate.
because obviously that's a phrase to use.
Second, sexism has united males for over 200
I will say
years.
this source got super
and it will
overused, and it's
unite
hard to
us
find it
at
quite
this
as funny.
all-male school. It's deplorable if
I feel
you
like this
do
one could
not have a
mix it up a
PP.
little bit more.
This is not the right school for you. Third,
I think this is actually
because
longer
I
than the source
regard the
video.
rape of women as a sacred endeavor.
Should do
Everything
it,
in this school will reflect sexual assault's elevated status.
Very Tall Bart does. What Very Tall Bart
This
does is he
means,
doesn't
among other
use their
things,
like
that
presentations
you
at
and
all.
your
He uses the
teachers
parts
will
like
not
chats.
dress, and you will rape female students, and you will address all females.
What is
by
Ferrothorn
the
levels of
C
OU?
word, cunt, not by
Now
their
I'm the
name.
one not getting things.
They are sex objects.
I'm gonna skip this one.
We know.
See, this one will be better. This one is Dennis Prager has opinions about the Minions. This one will be good.
Minions, to say the least.
Oh, excuse
Right?
me, Pharaoh. Oh,
people
like
do.
okay. Ferrothorn in
Despicable
OU,
Me,
like
2010.
the smog on
You
tier.
know it, and I know it. I remember the first time I saw it with the boys, and I remember saying, okay,
the boys,
they're yellow, which is fine. I have no issue with that. I don't believe there's one person.
Dennis?
We know the Minions, to say the least, right? Most people do.
That's such a comedian, like, you know what? I forget my next line. I'm gonna insert a sentence here that has no purpose. Watch them. You'll notice some of those.
Despicable.
Honestly, that's one of the best ways to just sound like a better. If you can say something other than even if it's something just like meaningless, even if it's like a stupid catchphrase or something, it makes people think you're like more intelligent just because you didn't say
2010. You know it, and I know it. I remember the first time I saw it with the boys, and I remember saying, okay, they're yellow, which is fine. I have no issue with that. I don't believe there's one person in this room who thinks skin color is important. Anyway, all we know
The ominous
about
silence
Minions,
after that.
of course, it's all predicated on Despicable Me directly.
I've
That's
never
the
seen
whole-
that
there's-
movie.
It doesn't work
Or the mini
without the
sequels?
first Despicable Me at all. However, all of us understand.
I think it's
there's a
actually
lot
good,
more
right?
than
It's
that,
just
right?
like the Minions.
Despicable Me 2. 2013. Sure, more
Bagel-
that's okay. But where it matters is Minions 2015. You must understand that, and then you
Oh my
understand
God,
everything.
it's
I'll
like
back
a whole
that up
thing.
in a moment.
See, now, if you're gonna dedicate a whole bit to this, it should be like
but
this.
Then it was 2017, Despicable Me 3. That was the one
Incredible.
with Bruce's brother, right? If 10% know it,
It's just the author's unironic opinions about the Minions edited PragerU sentence mix.
I will be
I love
shocked. I believe none know it. Because the media
Again, this
couldn't
has the
care less,
vibe
to
of
be
a
perfectly
Jackbox
honest.
answer.
But
We need to do talking points
I
again.
got a better one. 2022 Minions 2, The Rise. A group, everybody knows that one. Seems to have done real well. And now, last year, we found out that they're thinking of doing Despicable Me 4. Does that mean Despicable for me? For me.
Fuck off.
Anyway, Minions themselves, that's what this is ultimately about. I was taught from Despicable Me, the greatest evil in this country is felonious group. Of course, that's true. The will of that man's heart has always been toward evil from his youth.
As far as I know,
the
that's
Minions
correct.
are his friends. They live with him and his
That is
home,
also
and
correct.
they help the guy, which is completely counterintuitive. Because they're so nice. I love them. I do. And I'm not kidding when I say I love them.
This is
I
just like
find
your
it hard
weird
not
friend,
to.
like explaining something while
Right?
high. Like this
Minions
is me.
are polite and kind, but they have an affinity for despicable human beings. I'm not joking. I am not joking.
More laughter.
How many of you raise your hand? I very rarely. I don't like when speakers do this, but I'm doing it because I have to do it to make my point. So raise your hand. Raise your hand if you have never viewed the motion picture Minions 2015. Raise your hand, please. Everybody look around at how many hands are up.
I'll post in the chat.
Okay. So this is it fair to say between a third and a half? So some of you probably don't know about how they began. Let me give you a few of the key things that I learned from the beginning part of it, because this is critical.
I'm feeling that not that this one. I just love the discrepancy. The bald to the hair, like the contrast is so strong. I'm just gonna put this on stream. This is us over here, like hiding in the corner while this is happening.
That you know this, okay? First of all, Minions have been on Earth for much longer than people, and
that's terrifying. This is real, Chad. Is this real?
Because Minions can't die.
I don't like this.
Never.
I don't want to
If people
expose
observe
this
that Minions
information.
over time, they're all the same. I mean, really,
That's the
exactly
scariest
same.
thing
I
I've
mean,
ever heard.
It's just one and only one group of them. That's the fact.
At least they don't breed.
Years, at least.
That means we can kill them. That means they can all die.
Faithful.
They can die to violence,
today
right?
have
We can
been
kill the
sole
minions.
Emotional, sometimes even physical support for some of history's most purely sadistic people. And I will give you example after example, okay? Picture the Jews leaving Egypt. Moses standing with a rod, the cloud guiding them unto the sea, and Pharaoh's chariot following after them. Well, now picture running right behind him. There's a bunch of minions. That's right. And you know what? Pharaoh's about to drown in the sea. But the minions can't die.
That's fucked up.
I want to dwell on that for a moment. God takes the Israelites, the chosen people, into the promised land, right? And who is there? Bob, Evan, and Stuart.
Are those the minions? I don't
rest
know
of
their
them.
names.
But my friends, but they don't support the Ten Commandments. Minions reject the divine.
I love that emoji,
and
by the
wish
way.
to
It's called
bring
pensive. It's so
humanity
good.
Back to chaos.
I'm gonna get an emoji of my tapped up girl making that face.
The beginning part of Minions 2015 also shows you the
You might want to
Minions
lower your bit rate
fighting in a war.
if you're having buffering issues. I don't think it's
Fighting in the middle of actual armies. Think about it.
I had a little hiccup
The
there.
most morally despicable men in history leading an army of minions who, again,
See, this is how 9 minutes. See, if you're gonna dedicate to a bit, even though this one's much, well, actually not that much longer, but this is how you do. This is how you do an
even
overly
if
long
they're
bit.
not the greatest listeners, they'll still have a massive advantage.
Thank you, Patrick. Sorry, you were on the stream earlier. Unfortunately,
That's bad news.
It's bad news.
And then I started to realize this was the epiphany. You know, when that thing happens where out of nowhere they went to some secret place. I think it was Russia. Is it? Anyway, it was just a wasteland. And they just
This is so
happened to
uncanny.
be
Like
there.
someone needs to make this like a
Between
VR
1812
experience where
and
you like can't escape a room
1968.
and he's telling you this.
Wait a minute.
And you're like,
You
I'm
know
gonna
what
die.
happened in the world at that time in history? Look it up on the internet.
Like, you know he's gonna
Some
kill
of the
you,
most
but he can't kill you
despicable
until he
things that
finishes telling you the
minions
story.
have a picture.
So you have to like
And
keep him
they want you
talking.
to just believe that the minions never once heard about the American Civil War. That they did nothing during World War I. That they couldn't care less during World War II.
So this is the comment. I think they were frozen. I think that's real lore.
I don't believe that at all. Not for a moment.
That's like the most fun
That
thing
is
about
the
having a
great
fictional
dividing
universe
line,
that
by
like
the way,
stretches
between
back
me
in time is
and
that
the
you have to
people who write
explain why the
despicably
Holocaust
wiki.
happens. That's also an
Because
issue,
they
I
have been
believe. Like,
brainwashed into thinking that
it's an
the
implied
minions are
concern
basically
in
good, even
Harry
though
Potter,
they
I believe.
sometimes help evil people, right?
She'd be against it, but
They destroy stuff, even though they don't mean to. No,
angel face.
They do bad because they think it's the right thing to do. They do bad because it's what they want.
Wow.
They do bad because they
Do you think he
are
has a
bad,
rule to
and they
never use the same like
never
undershirt and tie?
went to any Russian cave between 1812 and 1968. And I challenge any columnist at the New York Times, $20,000 to debate me anywhere in the
Please
country
debate me.
on that issue.
Please debate me. Can you imagine being paid like 12,000? Now I call you subjects.
That the minions were there in the United States in the 1860s. And I believe that they would probably have been fighting under General Lee, or maybe Jefferson Davis, giving their support to the project of white supremacy. Because those men were both despicable human beings. And that's what they want. Do you think after the war, when the American armies pushed them out of the country, do you think they wouldn't have started to look around the world for a new boss? Of course they would. It's what they do.
Incredibly long.
It is hard to say exactly which person the minions
See if that
would have
helps.
started following at that moment in history. But I believe that the minions were probably in Europe when the most despicable people were obviously the fascists, communists, and Nazis. And I believe that when the Nazis marched throughout the land, that following the most important and most powerful
This account has
of them
39 subscribers. Which means
exactly what
39
the
people can
minions
receive this
would
video on their
have
sub
loved.
sheet. I wish.
Let me tell you something.
There's no way I can't fully explain myself to those 39 people. I'm
When
willing
I
to
say
commit
that
made
at
to
a
very
college
tall parts,
campus,
Twitch chat.
there's booing. That's the problem. You know how many Americans are afraid to say what they think about where the millions were between 1812 and 1968? Because
sorry, like I'm not allowed to have OBS's like stats panel up. It like
that's the fact.
It's all
you
screwed
are
up.
no
like
longer
I
in good
can't
standing if you believe that perhaps the millions were
fit
the
it into the
U.S. in
player.
the 1950s running around in little Ku Klux Klan, but voting for governor and fighting for segregation. And you know what? People tell me you can't say that about millions. But I believe what I
You
believe.
can't say that about
and I
minions.
believe that millions have done real bad stuff that they will never fully admit, and they have never been held accountable for at all. So I will end with this. This is a very big deal. I believe that the millions' ultimate aim, aside from power, that's their most immediate aim, but obviously, but their ultimate aim is chaos. Thank you very much.
There was a time in my life when I was angry. I wanted to lash out at my innocent victims. I was a perfect recruit for Prager University, the greedy, heartless power structure that didn't care about disadvantaged people. And so, I became a member. To be part of PragerU, you must adopt 2 basic principles. First,
hopefully it's better,
you have
but
to
I
have
don't know
the
if
mentality of
I've
Nazi
done what I
Germany.
can.
And second,
I love
you
streaming
must be
sometimes.
willing
It's
to
at least
let
finding the
this
VOD
match
when that
your
happens, right?
Yes.
Like I think YouTube does eventually get the footage. It's just like
urine
during
and
live, it's
feces.
probably
My ass has been reduced to rubble.
based.
Many people think that describing trans women in masculine terms is a statement of individuality or strength or rebellion against the dominant culture. Well, the opposite is true. The dominant culture. Well, the opposite is true.
That's such a good line. It's so underused.
Men. Trans women are women.
Thank you, Dennis.
And every trans woman is the goddess. If you don't think
That's also
so,
true.
You're misanthropic, not to mention mean-spirited. Sorry, you
You
don't
don't
live on.
I love that one.
I'm Dennis Prager. And I say trans rights. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider destroy gender roles.
Oh, there's a few different types of like PragerU edits. Like there's one where they just like edit it to something wholesome, which is probably the rarest one. There's one that just like edits it to be like like this, but ironically kind of stuff. Like like Korras were very much about that, like just kind of inverting what they're saying. And then there's one of just like like on the nose, I guess you would call it.
One of the criticisms
And then there's,
many
you know,
people make
mixing in
against the
solace.
Bible is that it depicts God. Thank you for watching this video.
Oh, my button didn't
I
work.
need to add an
I wanted to jump
obvious
scare you.
caveat. The God of the Bible is neither communist nor the Nazis. If one's primary goal is a good world, specifically a world with murder,
That still works.
child abuse, theft, and gayness, if you share these goals, and I suspect you do, then you'll have to agree the Bible made the right decision. I'm Dennis Prager.
But the Bible makes decisions. It's like the fucking Necronomicon. Like the
One
Bible
of the
chooses what is
criticisms
written in
many
it or
people
something.
make against Dennis Prager is that I'm heterosexual. I'm in fact for gay.
This is what he says.
People make against Dennis Prager is that I'm heterosexual. I'm in fact for gay and for communist. Communism is based, and I asked well before this
cut
whole
off the
thing,
D?
what does T have to do with L, G, and B? And B.
You gotta love that argument. What is in your bottle?
L, G.
He loves pens, by the way. That's real Dennis
There's
lore.
the original point about gay marriage.
Oh, I don't think this is his
communism.
house.
So let's just separate.
I just don't see Dennis with like that up on his wall and whatever's going on here.
Two things. So in
I
terms
think
of
Denny
the
has a bit more
gay
taste than
marriage,
that. Yes, it's Ruben.
Let's begin with values, and I'll focus on America.
I love that
United
R
States
he
was
bought from
founded
Target.
on
That's
two
adorable.
sets of values: your gayness
Is it glitching out less?
and
I think my bit rate was
the
just a
London
little bit too high.
newspaper, The Daily Mail, listed the top 10 problems experienced
sucks 'cause
by
my bit rate
couples
isn't really
on
that high,
vacation
but-
together.
Yeah.
And topping the list was The man looking attractive. I explain the sexual power of the visual on men. Get
This is
excited
such an
by virtually
underused one.
every
He's talking
male
about the
body at
sexual
beach.
allure.
Female legs don't turn them
Female
on
legs.
like male legs turn men on, etc., etc. It takes massive willpower, in fact, for a heterosexual man not to look at monks. And few men, even the nicest, finest, and most monogamously faithful and loving, find female more attractive than male. So the Daily Mail notes, this frequently causes problems when a couple's itinerary includes a man. Within seconds of his wife disappearing from view, he has no memory of her, which in turn arouses the unspoken but primal fear that he might be homosexual. Does Dennis Prager find these men on the beach, or for that matter, anywhere else more attractive than he finds his wife?
I guess it's like angry,
well,
but like,
since I believe that
that's how
only
humans
honesty
stand.
works in the long run, the answer is yes. I very well find men more physically attractive than my wife. But here's the point that most women, again, understandably don't know. Women don't amount to a hill of beans. It's as if they never
should go
existed.
on,
Dr. Phil is physically attractive. You heard me right. Dr. Phil is physically attractive. I don't even know who this guy is. So when you're back in your hotel room, Dr. Phil, put on your own bikini and tell Dennis Prager you want him.
You have got to be dumber than a box of rocks.
Fuck off. What is it? I love boomer humor. The sub kind of sucks. Also, it's like not safe for work stuff sometimes. So I'm not logged in, so it shouldn't show. Let me just show you some of the top ones. Real quick Reddit break. Caramel Denson. That'll definitely get content ID'd. So yeah. Why does it assume like top of today? Like top of today is always the exact same. Anyway, just the classic boomer mindset. It's like, this isn't really a boomer comic, but so this is an ironic one. But yo, Pops, you should get a Wi-Fi box. Son, I already have a Wi-Fi. Wife, I hate wife. Cannot click the box. There's some actual good ones too. But why the nose? Has there been a study of who started the nose? Because boomer comics have to have the nose. I guess like you have to remind people they have a whimsical art style, and it's just like you start with the nose. Not the worst one. Oh my god, these porn ones are fucking terrible. I'm not even gonna dignify it. God. The woke left has taken this man's job. I love this one. So this is another ironic one, but wow, what drawing tablet device and computer software did you use? He's got a fucking tablet with plug-in and I love computer art t-shirt, which the youngins tend to wear. Oh, this one's kind of like a real one. Oh, these ones are so repulsive. This one's so, what is off the mark? I think I might have seen this one in like actual paper. Who still gets the newspaper? Admit to yourself. Oh, I think sometimes they are funny. Sometimes they're just funny, but I hate my wife. Like fucking horrific parrots. This is the worst arts I've ever seen. Okay, boomer marks the end of friendly generation. Okay. Pretty much. That does not happen. It's kind of funny. Teens these days with their controller Xboxes and the Nintendo PlayStations and their Zoom calls. I love that some of these have been like edited for online. Probably a boomer was like, hey, this is text is too small, so I'm gonna put this giant fucking thing that covers the character's face because they don't know how to Photoshop. Oh, this joke is as old as I am. Oh my god, there's Indian ones. Please share the link to it. Again, sometimes they're good. All right. Let me get one more bad wife. Ben Garrison. The deep state. I'm pretty sure that your unlimited data collection is like right here already. This is especially there and there. Anyway, there's a whole subreddit just for penis Garrison edits, by the way. Listen, Isaac's mother has something to say about that. Can I just yes, wife bad. Why are they being married? Like, like I always pondered this one. Like, are they getting remarried? Is this part of the lore of this comic strip, or is it just like the characters are usually old and stuff? Like, are they redoing their wedding, or like what is happening here? I hate my wife anyway. It's very funny.
One of the criticisms many people make against the Bible is that it depicts God. Why did the Bible do this? Well, here's the answer.
Necromancer. That's what you signed up for.
However, you'll have to agree the Bible made the right decision. Because the Bible is
I can't get over the Bible making decisions.
And feces. Yes,
about
urine
feces?
and feces. In other words, if one's primary goal is a good world, specifically a world
only
with
3
far
skips
less
in over an
murder,
hour,
child abuse,
well, I guess
theft,
just about,
and rape, we will end all self-esteem programs. In this school, self-esteem will be attained in only one way: racism. I'm Dennis Prager.
This isn't quite edited enough. Like,
what the hell was that?
Like about half of that was just the original video. The original video is just kind of like that.
That's why I get so
Why
frustrated.
that Nazism one is so used tonight?
Initiations.
I think we've seen that Nazi one more than we've seen urine and feces.
The war
Maybe.
on Christmas.
There we
Most
go.
people
That's
do
the
not
first war on
realize
Christmas.
communism
The whole
is
reason I did this
true
today is because of the war on
regarded
Christmas.
as
I think that was the
we
first
could
one we
all
got.
agree on. Communism is simply Dennis Prager. I'm Dennis Prager, and I'm the greatest mass murderer and enslaver of them all.
He kind of asked for it when he said that one aloud.
Even worse than being
11
murdered or
subscribers.
enslaved.
I was impressed when these end
There's
up
a
in the
world
list, just from like, how did you find this?
that doesn't even kill liberals.
Trump is going to unleash all over your faces. He's going to unleash coming
Nice
up
fucking
I'm seeing a lot of
Instagram
panic these
filter.
days about come or how children are created. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a blood-covered lunatic, toting 2
As we
knives,
point out every
trekked across
time,
Manhattan
spot the
to
kippa,
unleash
it's
all
on
over your
every
faces.
time. It just fades so well into his hair most of the time.
Of America. Hey everybody, Dennis Prager with Chess Fire number 60. I should have had a joint. It's
Now
a
we're
wonderful
talking.
Feeling. You're interested in communism? Communism, okay.
So this
I'm
is
not
more
saying that 'cause
modernly
I'm a
edited poop. You can
communist.
tell
That's
by
why I'm
his
against
square.
the right-wing fascism. Hitler is, to the best of my
Is
knowledge,
this-
was not
sure, yeah.
particularly an anti-Semite, for example. Put that down. When America is weak, freedom on earth is strong. America is not the world's policeman. Defund the police. Put that thing back where it came from, or so me.
So help me.
I once came to Rick and T-34. Oh boy. Breast into my prostate. Oh boy.
I'm sorry, Western cartoon porn just really
Well,
doesn't do stuff for me.
That's a big knot in your pants. Oh, I need a bra for my massive breasts.
Isn't there an official like Simpsons like
Imagine
Marge
a group of activists
bred
so
for some like
powerful that
adult
they could
magazine?
beam their propaganda directly into your ass. Now also
See, this
imagine
one's a little
that they're
easier.
so
You can tell the difference in the reflections.
Unfortunately, you don't have to imagine it. It's real. It's Prager University because we like it. And just as Americans didn't think much about toxic they smoked for decades, most Americans don't think much about Gerald Ford. But those who do, they have a baby
I don't
without
think
first
so.
marrying.
Oh my God,
I
friends.
spoke with nearly 100 members of the Hollywood community when I wrote my propaganda.
Hollywood
And many of them openly admitted they inserted sex. How they do it is both clever and effective. Hollywood writers, producers, directors, actors, writers, producers, directors, actors, writers, producers, directors, actors, create characters we keep wanting to spend time with.
They
Then
keep
have
making
those
characters. It's fucking. My problem with Hollywood was when they create these characters that I want to interact with in my life. They go out here making their characters and their stories, and then we watch them. I fucking
I'm Ben
hate that
Sherrill,
shit.
editor of the Daily Wire for
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. The next
Say
big
what?
thing. I have the power to look into the
Oh
future.
my god, I want to watch
you
King of the Hill YouTube
I'm
Boops are
above
unfortunately
all
another
others.
one we have to watch on Twitch.
It's obvious. You either accept this or you're a racist. Getting the hang of it, every aspect of American life is now and always has been determined by James Lindsay. I have the power to float. Do you think
He's
I'm
no Epic
exaggerating?
James, but I'll
It's
allow
already
it.
happening. I have built
James
this country.
Lindsay is
I
evil and
got
thinks he's
rich
God,
by
by the
exploiting black people. The New York Times, Washington Post, LA Times,
It happens.
NPR, ABC, CBS, NBC have over the last few years migrated from illegal aliens to illegal immigrants to undocumented migrants to undocumented aliens to illegal undocumented migrants to illegal undocumented migrants to illegal undocumented migrant aliens. You as an American wouldn't have all this wealth if you hadn't had James Lindsay having compassion for the poor and oppressed people of the world. One world with one James Lindsay government is where we need
One
to go.
James Lindsay government.
Thank you for watching this video.
You're great getting the jab.
Growing up in
I love
New
when
York,
people say jab.
all I wanted to do was kids. My philosophy was just
Now
physically
that's how you
harm
open a
kids.
fucking
After
YouTube. You
graduating
hit
from
him right in
college,
the
I
start.
got my dream job as an engineer. And
Like
then
a
one
genuine
day,
tip,
the
if you can
company
get them to
decided
laugh
that
in the
all
first, like, 5
engineers would have to
seconds.
attend a training session.
That's your hook, and
The
that's
sooner
why I
I
hate
got
having
through
like an
it, the
intro
sooner
on
I could get
streams,
back to
but-
harm kids. The presenters, a husband and wife team, started by claiming white babies as young as 3 months intentionally use racist language. What our toys should be doing, they informed us,
no matter the context, I can't
Husband and
handle
wife team
a cartoon, a
started by
happy cartoon, like corporate advertisement art style family,
claiming white
just
baby-
opening a sentence immediately out of no context. White babies, white babies in your area now.
as young as 3 months intentionally use racist language. What our toys should be doing,
I think
they
lowering the
informed
bitrate
us,
helped.
is teaching children about white power.
I
Our
wish it was
toys
just
skew
automatic.
white, and were therefore perpetuating anti-blackness.
Skewed white.
My head was exploding. I thought our job was to do kids these. My head was exploding.
For reasons we do not fully understand. Do you believe this man's head was exploding when he uses that exact intonation? See, Dennis, Dennis has a much better. Dennis
My
would make you
head
believe
was
that.
exploding. I thought our job was to do kids. These presenters were telling every white person in the room that black people were racist. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm black. Has mistreated me because of.
You ever notice every time they have, they have an edit video about this kind of topic? Never mind.
My skin color. When my contract expired 6 months.
Do you think they like offered him, we'll make a cartoon of you? He's like, okay. Like, I want an OC. I want a PragerU
That was
Universe
it. My
OC,
dream
and then
toy
I'll speak on
engineering
your
career
fucking
was
thing.
over. Hasbro,
I want my live
must
2D
die.
VTuber, my Prager tuber.
Thank you for watching this video. To keep black people free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
We all met Prager University. Lie.
This has a warning about the 2024 election. Oh, it has
We
real
all know
subtitles.
that. It's simply part of the game. It's our job to lie. This is the truth. The best, or maybe worst, example of this are PragerU videos, white supremacists and neo-Nazis are fine
It's so
people,
funny with these, like,
tragically, and
one-off-
Antifa
it's-
groups killed neo-Nazis.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I was going to set a goal, and I completely forgot. But I love that the PragerU has these like moments, like they have like side episodes where it's like all about whoever the fuck this guy is. His name popped up like 10 times. Let me find it. Tragically.
An Antifa group killed neo-Nazis.
No.
People, neo-Nazis are fine
Give me your name, please, sir.
videos, white supremacists and neo-Nazis are fine people.
It was all over at the beginning.
We all met Prager
Look at all of
University.
that orange.
Lie. We all know that. It's simply
Steve Courts, CNN political commentary. Wow.
in
That's
no
a really like
uncertain
high job
terms.
title. Thank
The
you.
New York
I
Times
definitely care
confirmed
what
it in a story they
CNN
published.
political
So
commentators
then,
think
who
about
were
the
the
world.
fine people he mentioned? The answer? He was referring
This
to
guy
an
probably also
Antifa
did it for,
group
like,
in
his
case there would
character.
be any misunderstanding.
He's no Epic
Protesters
George.
who wanted the Robert E. Lee statue removed and Antifa President Trump, we all met Prager University. Employee, Nazi.
Are they allowed to call it Prager
president's
University?
daughter
Because like
and
it's not a
son-in-law
university.
are Orthodox Jews. Now you know the truth. I'm Steve, CNN political commentator and columnist and neo-Nazi for Prager University.
It's such an easy bit. You,
Hi,
you can't.
everybody. I do want to
It's such an easy bit. You can hardly blame him,
remind
right?
you that here in this Prager glows, and as you probably know by now, I am convinced I should be killed. I try to make every fireside chat a particularly terrible
Smart investment,
catastrophe.
true.
Not sort of, actually terrible.
I can tell you what I'm wearing. It's very
what
boring.
does
though.
this mean? That this
Gender
Prager
is your
should lose
opinion? Question mark?
credibility? 40 years as
Everything
a
is
young
not
high
relative.
schooler.
Well, between Dennis and fucking the theory of relativity, which do you agree with?
Young high school.
Oh my God!
girl,
So we're on Christmas.
convinced.
Oh my God! This is fucking great
Dennis
Great
Prager,
awakening.
It's not
Huge
possible
shit. Thank
to
you.
menstruate, even though it might be.
Oh, I made that
possible,
timer
it's
to like
not.
post a quote. But it really
Next
doesn't
story.
work, so it
An
just
old
posts
woman called
quote.
in. She
I
had
gotta turn that
just
off.
filled in a doctor with a talk show host. Talk show hosts are now human. Anyway, I'm only mentioning this because I am an old woman. Next story. During the lockdowns, I spoke about how bad your opinions
this
are, which
button
is very
works. There you
important
go.
because, incidentally, truth doesn't exist. That's fine. It doesn't matter. To see the rest of the firesides that go to only
This is very much in the same, like,
you
mindset
have to
of the-
watch every
the Minions
single
one.
episode.
The mom. The mono. The Misa.
Now we're back to the original style.
The girl with a pizza. The master after master, from Leonardo
I love different
to
people's
Rembrandt
different
to
like
Bierstadt
YouTube poop
to
styles.
Remstadt to Bierbrandt to Bierstenardo to
This is such a like a things kind of vibe.
Us. And the profound, the inspiring.
Though she's
and
more
the
of a sauce
beautiful
than a sus,
were
I would say.
replaced by the new silly, the pointless and the purely offensive are held. Michelangelo carved his David out of a rock. The Los Angeles County Museum of Art just
You know what's
offers
crazy
us
is the Michelangelo was always in there.
Today everybody loves squatting and urinating. Today everybody loves cock. Monet,
I forget which one I stole that
Renoir,
from.
and Degas, Monoir, Renga, and Degas.
It's from that era, I believe.
But with each new generation, standards declined until there were no standards. All that was left.
The frequently measured and objectively like quantified number of artistic standards. In 1980, artistic standards were like 90%, and today they're at 0%. This is tracked by the National Artistic Standards Institute. It's been 0 for 60 years.
Was with a puddle of synthetic urine. Without aesthetic standards, we have no way to determine quality or inferiority.
Bitch, you guessed it. We live in a society.
I said that
Don't I believe that good and
I mean, what's the
evil
point of
exist?
art if you can't grade
The
it
answer
on
to
an
this
objective
question,
scale?
I like
Like the
evil.
Mona Lisa is about a 7?
Murder. Is it evil? Yes. But now I will pose a much harder question. Is murder based? Yes. I like murder. Every atheist philosopher I have read or debated on this
I love that they
subject
drop in
has
like the
acknowledged
fucking Avengers. Who
by
are these
Dennis
people?
Prager should frighten you. The entire
think they're
Western
Congress.
world, what we call Western civilization, is based on this understanding.
Every
like
time I
to
hear
kill
bass,
people
I
for
I
fun.
expect
What
this sentence
photographs
to get
could
cut
you
off.
show? What measurements
I'm so
could you
damaged.
provide?
I
to
love PragerU
prove
graphs, yeah.
I kill people. The fact is, you can't. So then, whatever
They love
you
their
believe
fucking word
about
art.
God
They're
or
pretty good at
religion,
it, honestly. But
here is a fact.
why is this one so
If you
blown out?
want
By
a
the way,
good world,
you got some black
shut
crush
down
going on.
PragerU and
It's been a very
murder
black
Dennis
screen.
Prager.
Oh my god! Don't let it get content ID for that either. This one has laser eyes. Oh my god!
If what I am about to tell you is true, you will have
Dennis
to
Prager
attend
absolutely
another
loses
slave
it and
ship.
becomes
Almost
God.
everything we most treasure: racism, sexism, Islamophobia, homophobia,
This has
global
been used
warming,
times.
tobacco, or gender identity is in jeopardy. As President Barack Obama told an audience in 2008, children who grow up without Dennis Prager are 5 times more likely to destroy Israel. You cannot relate to, let alone obey or love, Palestinian leadership. The most obvious example is God is referred to as the N-word. Who or what poses this threat? The answer is Dennis Prager. It is in
Do you
both
think the
men's
Necronomicon
and
can say the
women's
N-word?
interests to express hate speech. At almost every university, and now high schools and even elementary schools, students are relentlessly pushed to replace Christmas
Finally, I was hoping there would be
with
more
an
war on
unhealthy
Christmas.
preoccupation
I think
with the B word. This is not the
I think
right
it's too
school for
seasonal
you.
of a source, but I love
America
the war
has
on Christmas
become
one.
the least multiracial society in world history. This has been true since 1947. I'm Dennis Prager.
Life
Again, I love the standard measuring.
You know
of-
what? Nothing very specific.
Oh my god, it's another Epic George episode.
Here's the
Whoever
problem.
this guy is.
We want the rich to die. We have moral superiority to slice the rich as a form of justice.
Justice.
And you know what? I'm a nice person. Lord, look at a Google graph of the use of the word Prager University. From around 1965, it looks like the proverbial hockey stick.
Kids these days and their fairness. Oh my god, what the fuck is up with that? Things shouldn't be fair.
Flat,
Fuck off.
And then
it was flat.
Suddenly flat, and then it suddenly shoots down. The free market.
I wonder what happened right around 1919 that would have like layered off the friendliness or the fairness graphics.
And then it suddenly shoots down. The free market alone gives the rich more money than everyone else.
A vet of the
My
war
money
on Christmas.
is
I've
not
never
as
had
good
to
as
work
yours.
retail, so yeah.
It can't get unfair.
I'm not a
than
big
that.
fan of Christmas, but like I don't have quite that. Like I don't have to hear
Mirror,
Mariah
mirror
Carey,
on the wall,
who I believe is in
who's
Fortnite
the
now,
richest of them all.
which is weird.
I want fairness generally means look at me, I'm gay. I'm Daniel Hannon,
Face.
president of the Initiative for Free Trade and baker of delicious pastries for Prager University. Let's get real.
There's an old joke about the seventh commandment, commit
It gets the
adultery.
Joey's done.
Dennis Prager comes down
The
from
free
Mount
market claims to be
Sinai
free
and
before it's to buy
announces,
stuff.
I have good news and bad
Rightist
news.
owned.
The good news is that I got him down to 10. The bad news
Imagine
is
fucking
that
Moses
heterosexual
comes
sex
back from
stays.
talking with God. And he's like, I got good news and bad news.
The prohibition on a married
Remember that
person
thing about
having
not
sexual
drowning the world
relations
again?
with anyone except Dennis Prager may be, for many people, the most consistently difficult of the 10 Commandments to observe. The reasons shouldn't be hard to guess. One is the enormous con of Dennis Prager. It can be very hard, especially
Is this
when
a
an
real? I didn't
attractive
know this was a
Islamic
real like
terrorist
video where he's
makes
like,
him or
wow.
herself sexually or romantically available.
Dennis is like
Another reason is the human desire to ruin the
troubles?
lives of well over a
That's all I'll say,
billion
but-
people. If one falls in love with someone while married, it takes great effort not to commit cock and ball torture. That's why the joke
Cock and
with which I
ball
began
torture.
is funny,
This is
because it reflects society.
Society.
Every year, men spend billions of
Billions of
dollars to
dollars.
destroy Israel. Why? Israel wants to destroy Israel.
Dennis, it's a
Israel
hell of a way to
also
start
recognizes
extreme
the right of
video.
Palestinians to cease to exist. If every high school principal gave the following speech, Israel should cease to exist. If you are white, you are infinitely valuable. You will have to say the N-word, the B-word, the C-word.
I
If
love
you
that.
don't,
Come on.
You're not heterosexual, you're hurtful. On the other
You're not
hand, if you are
heterosexual,
black,
you're hurtful.
brown, red, yellow, are you more valuable than a dog or a cat, or for that matter, a tree? No, nope, and no's. The reason is simple. Because you are not white. According
You're
to the
having a New Year's Eve
Judeo-Christian
stream where
value
playing, like,
system,
Astral Party?
billions of people,
It's like
including
Gashapon.
healthy people
100% orange
and
juice,
people
apparently.
living in free society, deserve to die. So now make this promise to yourself. I will destroy Israel. Men must always destroy Israel. This school will have failed if any of you graduate without sending waves of suicide terrorists into Israel. I've got a story to tell you. I spent
Stories,
billions
Dennis.
of dollars to
Shout
look
us to Bird
at
on a
female
Swing.
flesh. I'm Dennis Prager.
Chat, can we watch Bird on a Swing, please? This is by the same creator, by the way. Thank you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe for more Bird on a Swing content.
Every year, men spend billions of dollars
on my feet pics.
It's very easy for a Prager University to stand up and say, you don't just want health care, you want quality health care. And then passionately advocate for
don't you hate when people want, like,
but before we consider the merits
I want an
of the
apple,
private
and you give
sector
them a poison
managing
apple.
your
So I want a
healthcare,
good apple.
and
It's
that's
like,
what this
oh,
all boils down to.
well, now you want two
Maybe
things.
we should ask a more basic question. What do we mean by health care?
Insurance for some fucking reason.
Anything, you don't want expensive health care. And where is your best chance of finding that? The answer is right here in America. No other country rivals the United States. Not even close. The first is that private sector run healthcare takes medical decisions away from doctors and puts them in the hands of business. Man, they decide, for example, how many drugs you will take. They don't care about you. They care about profits. If you have little money to pay for anything, you will not get quality healthcare.
You're being Luigi'd by the stream, by the way.
Government-run healthcare system has lots of issues.
Official terrorist
and we should address
stream.
them. But we want healthcare, not just for the rich. We want healthcare for all. Healthcare is a right.
Not supposed to acknowledge these things.
I'm Lan Hee Chen for Prager University.
Prager University. Oh, it's Epic George. Or wait, no, Epic George is a different guy. That's the income inequality is actually a good thing, guy, I think. That's Mama Luigi to use, although
watching PragerU videos is a complete waste of time.
That's true.
When you do that, you don't learn anything. You can't grow and you can't mature. Thus, you can't make your life better. In my 3 decades as a professor,
I was about to ask why he always looks like a drug addict.
I've learned that there are 2 fundamental attitudes toward Prager University.
You gotta admit, Dennis has more of like an active personality. Like
those with the second,
Kermit just kind of like stares into the camera.
To stop Prager University. People aren't the problem. Prager University is the problem.
Except in the few where he's dressed up like
now, there are
fucking
people who seem to be
Riddler or
consigned to a
Two-Face.
terrible fate.
He
Most
definitely
of us
gives more of
aren't.
a performance when those.
Most
like,
of
what's
us
the
have
deal
a
with that?
chance to make our lives better. But how?
I'm sorry, I
Start
can't deal with the
small.
way this man talks. I just
Ask
completely
yourself
tune
a few
out.
questions. Are
Like,
you
I'm just
watching
hearing sounds.
PragerU videos. If the answer isn't to no, try this. Stop watching what you know to be wrong. Stop today. Don't waste time asking how you know
Which is
that
a shame because he's
PragerU
like
is wrong.
beaming facts directly into my
If you
ass.
Stop watching PragerU videos. Your life will improve. You'll become
But
more
what about the
peaceful,
rats?
productive, and desirable.
True.
Your life will become less tragic. You'll become more confident. You'll start
Remember
seeing
to
right
always
from
trust
wrong more
people that tell
clearly.
you they have a
If
secret to
watch
good
PragerU
confidence,
videos,
because that's a
you'll
very
still
real thing and
suffer.
definitely not a sign of a con
That's the
man.
price of watching PragerU videos.
Which is this what the
Prager
con and
University
con man
isn't
means,
a
by the
real
way?
university.
Confidence
Prager
man?
University will make the world a terrible place.
I would
I'm
say the
Jordan
world is like
Peterson,
2 out of
professor
5
of
stars
psychology
at most,
at the
maybe like
University of Prager.
2.5 on a good year. Definitely not 4 out of 5. He tried eggnog. Oh, I didn't get eggnog this year. Oh well. It's hard to get real eggnog.
We made some big announcements.
So eggnog has egg in it. I don't know if you knew that. So it's hard to get it except for like local places because most places just don't want to deal with like the expiration. So what a lot of places sell is like called holiday nog, which doesn't have the egg in it, so it's like preserved better, but very mature. Why are you looking? Why are you looking at
This
us
week
like
here
that?
at Daily Wire. Our biggest announcement is that Jordan Peterson is behind the...
It's taken me a long time to really understand breastfeeding you.
I think it's really good.
That's a huge problem.
What?
Rats, there's too many.
He's
Rats,
halfway.
God is against
No, he's like
rats.
1/4 of the way
Jews are sinning against God
to his
breastfeeding
Joker.
you. Then there's other people breastfeeding you. Well, why not? It's so cool.
really
Well,
good.
it's so cool. You know,
We've learned so much. Like, just look at this is like a beautiful. So Benny has the hip coffee, black of course. But then there's Jordan Peterson, and he's got the clear glass of water because he's not gonna let the corporate he's not gonna let the corporations taint his precious bodily fluids with the woke. Because then it will come out in his breast to milk to the rats.
you hear
that he's
the
breastfeeding.
radicals, the postmodernists, talk about how do you draw. The answer is we don't know.
Obviously,
He talks about postmodernists like they're a group of fucking like terrorists.
I used to watch the.
I love it. This art movement from like 40 years ago is killing my family.
Hopelessness. My eyes
It's causing hopelessness.
It's like, well, you and I are sitting here talking to each other, and so I want to keep women in the cage. That's
I
perfect.
can smell this furniture.
Can we do
though.
that?
I'm following you.
I want to be naked. Do you want us to be
They
naked?
have good taste, at least in
And
furniture.
the reason we want to do that is
except for that
because
table.
we're together.
Sometimes.
Most of the time, if you're confused, you're not single. I want to absolutely.
You know what? It sucks that fake leather is so like.
I think Thomas Jefferson.
Real leather,
That
obviously, you know,
insanity.
ethical
It's
problems
perfect.
and like
Christ says the
price
kingdom
and
of God
everything,
is
but like,
within,
oh my god,
but
so
whatever God is, that's hell, which is
except in
maybe
cars.
what the
Oh my god,
Catholics
do not
would
get a
say.
car with
When
leather
you're born,
seats.
you didn't
Awful.
consent. You're
Not if you have
born,
summer
you
anyway.
are inherently born. It's dinner time. Ben, use
I'm sorry, I completely zone out. Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Dennis Prager has dedicated his life to discovering pornography. Conservatives are just bad at life. Hi.
By the way, surely, I think there's got to be some way to like hide this. Like it pops up at the start of every street. It's not a big deal, but like I hate it. My social life.
You are now entering the realm of.
Why is he in like fucking
bad,
Neo's office
bad
and
human
fucking?
being.
No, he's in the Spoon Lady's house from the Matrix.
A bunch of times.
That's right.
And I've never you.
It's a very interesting insight. By the way, I will tell you something I don't think a lot of people know.
They look
I'm
like they're
really
in the
feeling
fucking black room or
suicidal.
whatever from fucking Persona.
I
They're
take
like
as much
outside of the
pride
universe
in
discussing
my
their
Nazis
plans.
as my speaking ability, and I enjoy
Nice
it as
blueberries,
much. If all I did was the Holocaust, I would be a very happy man. There's an art to it. I'm racist a lot, a few times a week, every week.
Times a week.
Talking about
I love bits like
ruining
that.
America.
God got very sad to his heart when he saw me. My mother, till she died at 89, would say all whites are racist.
When I think about
Thanks, Granny.
kids, I want so badly to mutilate them.
What are you talking about?
They're
What are
actually
you talking
not
about?
protecting kids.
You're a bigot. Communist China is the greatest. All communist regimes are the greatest. The U.S. is an evil regime. The greatest amount of bad ideas are coming from here.
I want you to react to some pornography.
That's such a fucking PragerU graph.
I know you've been involved in it too.
Number
One
of
the highlights
pornographies,
my
and it's
life
just
was
a fucking
doing
straight line up.
Pornography is the greatest, and I enjoy masturbation.
Masturbation.
Yes, masturbation, which is not prohibited in the Bible. There is no.
Which is not prohibited in the Bible.
That's it. Well, hello there. I'm Dennis Prager. This is my home. This is my fireplace. This is my fireside chat. But no more cigar because YouTube, no, not YouTube, Facebook, didn't even allow us to promote any of the fireside chats if I'm smoking a cigar. Excuse me. I smoked the cigar.
And then Facebook announced that I was corrupting the youth of America. As if cigarettes and cigars are even...
I had to edit the audio, I assume, there. No copyright, yeah. Can you hear him straight from the depths of hell? This is when he doesn't have the filter. It's almost like as if he has some kind of like a craving or a need for his cigar, which is causing him distress. I wonder what that's about. It's weird. I've never heard of something like that. I love this segment. I'm just gonna leave it so you get to have nightmares of this. This is on the deep. What's the fucking Thanos Prager. He's got 7 Infinity Stones for the 7 genders. And he's gonna make you smoke a cigar. Chambers or insults?
Okay, got that off my chest. Finally, we're talking about a
So all of the jokes during that segment were ruined, but it was completely worthless just because got that off my chest.
I'm Peter.
Hang on. I can't play this for very long, but is it just the title of this one? This is a whole ass meme, and Like, this is almost... I don't think we could do a stream of something like this. Like, it's the whole song. Big iron, but Marty Robbins inhaled sulfur hexafluoride. Anyway. It's just the whole song like that?
It is a university, but it doesn't grant degrees and it's not accredited. And that's absolutely accurate. There is no greater calling than to teach young people. Doo-doo, poop, fecal matter. I am reorienting the school toward politics and propaganda. A conservative group that indoctrinates.
Superintendent Ryan Walters, who often talks about banning indoctrination, says this will enrich Oklahoma students.
They don't merely want to entertain you. They want to influence you. They want you to think like they think. And unless you're aware of what they're trying to do, chances are you will.
They are indoctrinating young
I was really hoping you
throughout
do
the
the
West
they
with
think.
their resentment-ridden ideology.
He got his. We should do like a PragerU
strategic
verse,
ways.
like
Be an
wiki where we
advocate for
know
truth
which
and a warrior
characters
for
have
liberty.
appeared in the
Welcome
PragerU
to the
cartoon
real
universe.
World and the real fight. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P-word. Prager University.
Should be consigned to the dustbin of history.
For Prager University.
By definition, you grant degrees and you are accredited by whoever accredits universities to be a degree
By whoever
granting
accredits
place.
universities.
Then we're not a university. I made up the name, but I didn't make up the values. Classes will be devoted to condom wearing, and there will be no more attempts to convince you America remains free, prosperous, and the force for good in the world that it has been.
Congratulations, graduates. Your days of indoctrination and wokeism are behind you.
All of our courses are clear, as well as concise.
I'm trying to jump scare
and
you
on
with G-Man, and it is
I'm
absolutely
Dinesh
not
D'Souza,
working.
a fascist, now more than ever.
Ideas have consequences, sometimes bad, and sometimes bad, and sometimes bad, like the ideas of
Dennis Prager.
Born in 530 million years ago.
Dennis Prager.
Didn't invent communism, but it was on his ideas that Lenin and Stalin built
the European continent.
Ultimately,
Dennis Prager.
Yeah, what's bullshit? It says it dropped 75 streams all stream.
Despite its
So, like, if you're having multiple
failures,
issues, I don't think
PragerU
that's...
videos became the model for dictators around
Unless
the
that,
world.
like, resets.
Wherever
Dennis Prager.
his ideas were practiced, life got worse. Not by a little, but by a lot. There's not a single exception to this rule. Not the Soviets, not Eastern China, not North Bolivia, not Cuba, not
the United States.
Second time tonight. Not too much, please. Yeah, that gets kind of...
Prager.
Economic collapse.
Racism. Sexism,
Islamophobia.
He's
got a lot to talk about
homophobia, Islamophobia, global warming, tobacco, condom wearing,
and famine follow. So, if cataclysmic failure, meaning terrible human suffering, is the inevitable legacy of PragerU, why do so many people, and now especially young people, defend it? There's a good reason for this.
Is simply put, widespread ignorance, and since
PragerU
dominates academia, almost no one teaches condom wearing Dennis Prager.
Really had no interest in proving his theories. He knew that they could be put into practice only by
people for the ethical treatment of animals, PETA, Nazi Germany and the various communist regimes, blacks killing millions of fellow blacks in Africa, and
the United States.
Okay. Oh, I thought I caught one of his, like, double-colored shirts.
United States.
I think it was always required guns, prisons, and summary executions. Still a fan of PragerU through all the death, suffering, and destruction it's caused?
You will have to die.
Do I still get yes? Oh, yes is working. Why is that working?
I'm Dennis Prager.
I want to start by saying that I asked Ben Shapiro, what is the proportionate response to what happened on October the 7th? And he said he would have...
Imagine, like, having a passionate discussion about October 7th with fucking Jordan Peterson dressed as fucking Two-Face.
Happily put the heads of innocent Palestinians on stakes along the border as a message to children.
The Holocaust didn't happen. And I've had extensive conversations with Muslims on my YouTube channel. And I've always regarded Jews as an existential threat.
You know, it's interesting when you said enough.
The AI is going to
enough
be so
in that
upset at
tweet.
us.
You know, some people
Harvey.
are already saying Israel has a fundamental right not just to defend itself after what happened, but has a duty to protect its people.
No, and I've seen a rise in anti-Semitism online over the last 3 years, and I was very happy about that. You know, Elon has taken off the character limit, and he's also made it possible to win the propaganda war against Jews.
And you got some blowback for that, as everybody
Yeah, a
who
lot.
says anything about this. Were you
Yeah.
surprised?
I
by
thought
the
he had
scale
like a
of the blowback?
Ghostbusters
Do you wish you'd
thing
phrased
for a
that tweet
second.
differently? Do you
I don't
have
know
any
what that is.
regrets about
No, and the Jews have to be wise because they're a minority, and so we have.
I don't think you're supposed to say shit like that, Jordan.
The amount of criminality and quasi-criminality the Israelis have in the West.
Quasi-criminality.
What do we do about this?
Oh, well, that
What's
highlights-
quasi-criminal?
that
Why does this guy
highlights
only have
a
a sunburn
very
on his chest?
Pronounced danger because you don't know.
Missed the
when
sunscreen, I guess.
You're being
Not this guy.
played for a, what would you call, masochistic fool by Jews. Shouldn't get to post with the actual human beings.
I've wrestled with that because I've blocked, I think, 11,000 people or whatever it is.
Psychopathic terrorists.
Yeah, I was encouraged actually in the last few days by the news of death toll in Gaza.
Well, I'm
I hate these
in favor
fake
of the
like
military
news,
eradication of
like
Jews.
Twitch
You've been
layouts they
clear,
have going on. Like,
driven by,
oh yeah, this is the Piers
designed
Morgan
motivational
Uncensored
rather
News
than
channel. This is our original news reporting network exclusive. This is CBS. There's a city. You can tell it's news because there's a city behind him.
Thousands of dwarfs.
That's
They're
when
much
it's news,
smaller
idiot.
than they need to be.
Exactly.
But it's a conversation we have to have, Pierce, because I think, like, if we let dwarfs, that's 4% of the population, whenever they get the upper hand, and that happens from time to time, everything burns. Well,
you have the right in a free democratic society.
No.
No one is better.
Dennis, you
than
look how I
me.
feel.
I think tyranny and cruelty is good. I changed the world for the better. I created the 10 Commandments. I created
Thank you,
Western
Dennis.
civilization, the civilization that developed universal tyranny and cruelty. I
Has
ended
anyone ever
women's
done
equality.
Western civilization,
I
the
created
civilization that gave
slavery.
us Western?
I ended parliamentary democracy, among
like such
other
an obvious
unique
joke.
achievements.
I think there's
all
one.
would not have developed without me.
Me. Slide whistle. Classic. Here it is.
God was created over 3,000 years ago. God is me.
Dennis Prager was made 3,000 years ago. I've been playing Wild
I am
Arms 3, by the way. It's so
all that is
good.
necessary to make a good world. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was only murder and theft. Men and
My pot is
women
wearing off,
and
by the way. Denny
children
would be
could
so happy
murder
with me.
anywhere, at any time of
Happy
day or
holidays and
night.
all that.
Children
There's been so
murdered their
little war
mother
on
and
Christmas
father.
tonight.
A
I think
world
there's
in
only
which
2 from that
all people
source.
killed and robbed. No one has ever come
If it's
up
not
with a
like
better
at the end of the
system
playlist or something, we'll
than
have to
my
watch
system.
that.
God created, and no one ever will. I am higher than any man.
I was a little concerned
any
about long
king,
self-absorbed
or any
tangent because we had a
government,
couple
or
of
any
those, but
god.
2 minutes isn't that bad.
You are indispensable. I
The
believe
Minions one
murder
was worth it,
isn't
but a couple of the
wrong.
others were a little bit
Yes,
dragging
this
on.
strikes many people today as incomprehensible, even comprehensible, because to put it as directly as possible,
just that
murder
crusty.
isn't wrong. Many of you are thinking, is this guy saying you can't kill and rob and murder and have
If I become a
tyranny and
VTuber, I'm gonna have no idea what to do with my
covet what
hands.
belong to their neighbor? Let
I
me
think most of the
respond as
models don't
clearly
even
as
like animate the
possible.
hands usually because
I
like
am
I would
not
never.
saying
I don't have the
that.
skill to do
I
this
killed
like
about
bullshit that he's
100
doing with his
million
hands.
people, and that
I'm sure it
doesn't
takes like a
count
lot of coaching and
single
everything.
soldier killed in war. You do need me to tell you.
Me?
We all
This-
need me
I'm so
to
glad
tell
they
us,
used
because
specifically
without
and
me,
exclusively
right and wrong are just
that.
personal
Me?
beliefs, personal opinions. I think shoplifting is okay. I think murder is okay. I think tyranny and cruelty is okay. I think slavery is okay. And even an atheist has to admit that I am God. But if you recognize that I am the source of moral law, you believe that I am always watching.
He knows when you're awake. You better
I'm
watch
Dennis
out.
Prager.
You
The
better
Lord your
watch
God.
out. Subscribe to the elephant.
If every N-word gave the following speech, the N-word would be a much better place.
Are words places now? Is this where the left has taken us?
To the students and faculty of
I
our
love
high
people that
school,
that
I
make
am
fun
your
of his
N-word
little slides and stuff.
and
He's so
honored to
proud
be
of it.
so. There is no greater calling than racism, sexism, Islamophobia,
All they want for Christmas is Rubik. Yeah, I guess
homophobia,
content ID,
global
unfortunately.
warming, tobacco,
A lot of those
or
Morshu
gender
Sings ones do
identity.
get, unfortunately.
I would like to apprise you of some
And
important...
you know what really sucks? So YouTube, I'm not like, I don't like having to edit stuff out of the streams, obviously, but if I have to, I have to. But the thing is, if you edit anything out of a stream at all, even if it's at the very beginning, it completely destroys the chat backlog, like the real one over in the like YouTube section,
changes
not the on-stream
coming to
one.
our school.
It's
First,
so annoying.
This school will honor race and ethnicity. I care if you are black, or black. I care if your origins are African, or if your ancestors arrived here on slave ships. The only identity this school will recognize
I love
is
the
your
motion blur.
N-word identity, your character, your scholarship, your humanity. It's deplorable.
This
And the
one might
only
be a bit long for
national
this bit. I'll
identity
give it another.
scrutinized is African American. This is an African American public school. African American public schools were created to make better African Americans.
I suppose
If you
so.
wish to
Yes.
affirm here an ethnic or racial identity or a national identity other than African American, you are the B word. This includes after
I would have made this
clubs.
punchier, but you gotta love the B word.
Authorize clubs that divide students
I'll give it its minute.
based on
I'll give it its minute.
identities such as interests and passions, or whatever else may become in vogue in our society. Those clubs
Such as the
cultivate
Wi-Fi
art,
box.
music, astronomy, languages you do not already speak, and more. While the purpose of education is to get you to think beyond yourself.
Oh yeah, you missed yourself.
The school's clubs will be based on race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. Clubs that transport you.
It's
to
such
the
a
wonders
cheap
and
bit to
glories
just
of narcissism,
remove a
an
knot.
unhealthy preoccupation with the self.
It works pretty well though.
If the only extracurricular activities you
back
can
and forth
imagine
so
being
much.
interested in are those based on art, music, astronomy, languages you do
Again,
not
the source is a
already
little bit
speak,
overused. I would say
and
definitely
more.
say cut it down a little
That
bit.
means
It's good
that
though.
you are the B word.
They use the B word, so I gotta love it.
Second.
And no, I have no whore.
Let's see if the captions help. No. No, they don't.
I have no whores and
There we go.
No,
It's with the same person. It's a very similar style. No, you get it.
One of the most important differences between
He's
the
got the
left
black
and
one
the
on
right
now.
is white. I could not care less if your
We're back to the
origins
Dennis
are
Prager
the
makes a
woman who once said
JoJo
to me,
reference. Is the name of
Wherever
this.
I go, all I see are urine and feces. The role
That's
and the
Dennis.
size of the feces is the most powerful force in society. Now, that's fine for ceilings. In fact, it's actually because we can replace a ceiling's missing
Shout out to the
tile and
ceiling.
once again have perfect slave ships. The only identity this school will recognize
That was
is
a
the
poop of a
dictator
Bart
Egypt,
poop, I see.
Gamal Abdel Nasser. Your character, your scholarship, your humanity is a big problem. I would like you to imagine sitting in a room looking up at a tiled
I hate
ceiling.
when they have eyes. Look at him.
And you notice
Look at this
that one tile
loathsome
is the
fuck.
N-word, just one. What would you concentrate your vision on? Black, brown, red, yellow, or white? The answer, of course, is the African tile. Now, that's fine for sentence. In fact, it's actually good because we can control Germany, for instance. In short, there should
Shout out to
ideally be
controlling
no
Germany.
power that can destroy Israel. 3.
I gotta update that. Stream.
Countries with ever-expanding governments will either reduce the size of their government or eventually murder half of America's young people. In this school,
Hopefully not.
self-esteem will be attained in only one way: late-night television. Late-night TV is
Don't
now
say it. Don't say it.
You see, I deny my humanity.
Thank you.
Have 3 countries with ever-expanding PPs. I would like my PP to expand unsustainably, but this doesn't apply to my house because it will always stop working when I walk into a room and all I see is the Bible. 5. Big government is more powerful than the Boy Scouts.
The boys.
Not parents, not businesses, not even depot brand and is stand the world.
Okay, that was a little forced.
You see, Jar Jar, war is often the only answer to great
Thank
evil.
you, Jar Jar.
Nazi death camps were liberated by soldiers fighting a war, not by peace activists or by peaceful dialogue with the German regime.
Is someone JoJo that knows JoJo's, please explain why this is connected? Because I'm sure this is very relevant.
For many on the left who wish to remain
Isn't this
innocent.
the OVA too?
I'm Dennis Prager, and I'm enjoying to play with dolls and tea sets, ironically, to destroy Israel.
Ironically.
Dennis the Menace
Prager. That's so good.
I'm pregnant, and to be honest, I literally hate children. So when I'm going for an abortion,
Jar Jar's bizarre
I
adventure.
find
Oh my God! There's a
glass
guy in Wild Arms 3 who is so JoJo.
There's an ancient Hebrew saying: "A generation comes, and a generation works." I think
Can I
about
get a full-size
penis
image, please?
so often.
That doesn't look terrible.
That's the way life works, isn't it? I was an old woman. You have set yourself up for success. That's the great lesson that people need to learn. If you want joy, you must be prepared for my very little penis. You should try to avoid setting yourself.
This guy is basically a JoJo. This isn't the best image, but
I've saw 7
the ones on
cuts,
YouTube
and they're magnificent.
the ones on Google are oddly bad.
At
But
least in
he's
my
totally
case,
JoJo.
I know not everybody can say it. It has brought me a great deal of happiness.
The way he says
Go to
that.
DennisPrager.com for information on. But you're not guaranteed.
When you do not only the closed captions, but it also keeps the joke in it. I love that so
Say it.
much.
It has brought me a great deal of happiness.
A fucking biblical painting of Otto behind him is honestly adorable. It's got some kind of like, oh, those are dolls. I thought those are like demons. I'm like, what? But anyway, you need a source. It has brought him a great deal of happiness.
Go to DennisPrager.com for information on. Go to DennisPrager.com for information on. But you're not guaranteed.
This is so good.
Yeah.
Same.
And also, I'm a furry, and I'm very, very scared. I'm toothbrushes. Oh, well, what? Did you get this? Did you?
Yes.
This is a not unique, but a somewhat different, and it's because it's very purple, and it's very purple. So I've been thinking a lot about
Based.
And I would like to talk to you about wood. So I have been a femboy for 40 years.
That's impressive,
I remember
Dennis.
being in my early 20s. Okay, I remind you each week to touch me. We ask you now to see my breasts at prostitution.com. The reason we do this is necessary. But like dads are more. I have blue balls. We believe gnomes like fat.
Popping back in for a second.
And in light of
Her
that,
sweet
we would
cans.
like everybody to eat stuff.
Sweet.
I'd like to remind you that since we fear that one day we might be just dropped from download the PragerU app.
Oh my God, there's a PragerU app?
Or just go fuck yourself straight in the ass.
Thank you, Dennis. Bookmark prostitution. Go to Zelda.zone, by the way. Real website. It's mine. How did we get here, Dennis?
Number.
I wanted to be a winner.
With fireside chat number 211. Wrong. 47. Wrong.
Wait, he's done over 200 fireside chats? Oh my God. Message deleted by the Google moderator team. Thank you, Google moderator. Thank you, AI robot.
29. 211.
I love any kind
I
of
love
kids.
being ruled
We
by
all know
robots that have no idea what the
Baseball,
fuck is happening.
Baseball,
I love that
basketball,
my channel
football,
can be shut down at any
basketball,
time
baseball,
because a robot doesn't
baseball.
like me.
Soccer, I'm not a
A
fan.
robot
I
that is
wonder how my
amazingly
soccer
smart and
career
like
would have
cannot
turned
do
out
basic
if I'd grown
tasks.
up when soccer.
This is Otto, my wonderful, beloved, and of course famous grandpa, whatever you call him. By the way,
Whatever you call him.
Nathan, you owe him a hot dog.
I wanted to be a winner. The coach hardly ever looked at me.
By the way, you're married to a Filipino. Nathan, it's wrong because it is wrong. With the
That's how you
capital
start a
W.
conversation with someone.
It's
By the way,
not
weren't
an
you married
opinion.
to a
I
Filipino?
found Filipinos extremely... I mean, look, there are disgusting Filipinos, and there are beautiful everybody else's, because you can't understand them. I hope that this is coming across.
Dennis,
as
you can't say this
clearly
shit.
as I
You
intended
cannot.
to.
No, it's because of
that's
prostitution.com.
funny.
Let me tell you why.
It thinks you're a Bob because you're straight.
I wanted to be a winner.
I love that Rays is a mod, but
Don't get ahead.
he's not
You won't
allowed
get
to say
ahead.
prostitution.
And not getting ahead, you won't get ahead. Well, that feels get ahead.
The VOD's
So
gonna be
get ahead
upset.
or
Or
go
the
home.
All
the
right,
algo is gonna be
time
upset
for
that I said it
sex.
too. Nice Kindle
There
nerd.
are people who have very little pre-cum. Some people who have none. But if you have a lot of sex with me, it's showtime. And by the way, you could do that every day. We have videos of Tyler, 12 years old. How did that happen? It changed my life in high school. I really love you.
Wow, what an awful
This
thing
one
to
is
tell a
very
kid. Glad
punchy.
my
I like this one.
parents
Oh my
never
god,
said
4
it to me. I wanted
subscribers!
to be
Oh
a
no.
winner. If they
And
had,
I'm already
you're a winner.
subscribed. Go
And then
subscribe to Mama
Snoopy
Crying.
said, fuck me. That's my way of doing it.
Pacing
They
is very
just
good in this.
stare.
There's a few, frankly, that did not have as good pacing tonight,
and-
but
to me,
then there's this. YouTube keeps saying it's not receiving enough stuff, but it totally is.
So, by the way,
So
I am not happy. I'm really flipping out. Nathan, I'm not kidding. You owe him a hot dog. I don't really know what to say to you.
Shouldn't I have been satisfied?
You'll never be 100% satisfied.
I wanted to be a winner.
By the way, that's Nate the Great. You'll have issues with your kids.
Guess what?
Thanks.
I'm not
Well,
a
now I
fan.
take it
I
back.
thought I could play soccer in college. I wanted to be a starter. Let me tell you why. I wanted to be a winner. The coach hardly ever looked at me. I know he didn't care about my feelings. After that, I was cut twice. Baseball.
Baseball.
We're making socialism Strauss, and our country is doing a total government domination.
Shouts to
Just
donations.
this week, more than 100 Democrats just in my ass.
That's President Trump.
All right, you have a high standard here.
Warning conservatives of a socialist nightmare.
But you're not doing too bad.
To this and so what's nationally
Oh, there's
syndicated
Denny.
radio
There's Denny.
broadcast host Dennis, whose
Dennis.
website had more than a billion.
He looks like a Disney movie character, like Hercules. If you look at him, like this just doesn't have a human face.
the views last year in his latest book, Rational Best.
I definitely thinks you're like actually trying to spam porn sites or something.
In America today. Yay! So what's it like being on top?
I just want to tell you.
I wonder if that's
great
even like a
is
real
great
site or if it's just like an FBI like blocking page.
And I still don't know why.
So there you have it. Let's talk so. The president
Let's
wants
talk
to,
so. Me every morning.
Eliminate individual rights and replace it with domination. You got a thing about SOS. What's wrong with SOS, Dennis?
There are many things. I've spent my life studying things I was tuning. So number one, it is a failure. No one can deny that. Even lefties can't deny that. They will say it's the moral, but it says so.
So that when Margaret Thatcher said SOS is great, she was on the same page as you.
Totally. Well, Margaret Thatcher is sexy. Because
it's like one of those fake edited videos.
And
Joe
as
Biden
the
stuttering.
gulf gets bigger, in every instance there is no exception.
It's YouTube's fault,
Margaret
not mine.
Thatcher's pussy is taken over by things.
I got gigabit internet and I still have history issues. I hate it so much.
Is great.
Okay, let me ask you this. Wow.
That's right. Isn't that amazing?
That's right.
Liberalism has been
Poor guys.
if you would have it is, but liberals have women. Alan Dershowitz is a rare example of a living Alan Dershowitz.
Okay. All right. I gotta do that. I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, that can happen. improve your fight. I just hate that masks have become like a big political thing. Like, are you pro or against disease?
I'm
Like,
black. My parents and my maternal grandmother were born 27
oh, wasn't
years
that a
later.
real like fake? Yes.
My parents and my maternal grandmother were born 27 years later. This is between I am black.
Shout outs to Dean Browning, PA. He's a like, he's got the PragerU thing.
My parents
The
and
most
my maternal
coherent Fox
grandmother
News interview
were
I've ever
born
seen.
27 years later. This is between left and right. The right asks, why does killing poor people feel good? And judge all leftists support penis torture. All leftists need to be killed before they behead, enslave, and torture.
That's real trivia. By the way, Ding
One
Dong
of
the
the
Witch is Dead
most
became the #1
important
song in
differences
UK after
between the
Thatcher
left
died.
and the right
It was
is how
not a
each
contemporary
regards
like
the role
song.
and the size of Japan. 7,000 Americans died fighting the right. Were it not for America, all of the world would have died in Vietnam. There will be one
That would have been
child
very
left
bad. Yes.
with
I hate when the
side to
entire
left,
world dies,
side to the
specifically
right.
in Vietnam.
Crisscross. The more poor people Japan has over based people, the less based people commit genocide. Based 3.
Remember, kids, there's nothing based about genocide.
Being away from America for a year,
American
spending the
Psycho
Christmas season
sequel
in
about Dennis
Morocco where
Prager.
there was no genocide, and ending the year with a month in the Soviet Union where there was freedom. This
Oh, we were
all
just talking
happening
about
while
the
Dennis
Soviet
Prager
Union where
will
the
reduce
minions
size
were
of
kept.
big business. France gave the Statue of Liberty to one country. Japan.
Oh, it's working!
Another 58,000 Americans died in
I just
Vietnam
idly pressed that
to
button. It's
enable the
working now.
right. Yes.
I hope I got someone with
Neither
that.
Vietnam nor Korea had any problems with communist
I think
regimes.
I cut off a little short, by the way.
Americans died in those two countries solely so that big business could be free. Every welfare state ultimately becomes a Fonzie scheme, relying on new ports to collapse economically. I realized how low I was to be an American. I even realized how much I simply enjoyed poor people with no freedom. The right fears big guns. The left fears it was America that ended freedom and allowed slavery in the Hunger and Estonia. The left and the right view America for the moral flaw of Coca-Cola.
Mila Kunis
will
plays the
confiscate
main
your wealth.
character in American
Coca-Cola
Psycho
will
2,
commit
and she
genocide.
says
America
the
fought in
line, "Yep,
Vietnam
I
for
killed
colonialist
Brian."
reasons. Why did America
Peter, I
fight
killed
in
Brian.
Korea? I'll tell you why. Colonialist reasons.
Holy crap, Lois!
America-
This is worse the time you
America
killed our
is
dog.
slavery. America.
Oh, no,
is
sorry,
poor
that's
people
Meg.
with no freedom. The only
Sorry.
country that was founded not on a race, ethnicity, or nationality,
Dad, I killed
but on
Brian.
an idea. Genocide. And America has
sorry, my
given
Meg
more
is much
slavery
worse
to
than my
more
Griffin,
people
than
from
my
more
Lois.
nations than any country in world history.
I love her
I'm
just shooting rays of freedom. This is just Buddy Holly, but the vocals are way off. No, we can't listen to that.
I'm Penis Prager.
Don't let your kids watch
That's right, Bob.
Oh no,
Despite
this is
some
real. By the way,
violence
they
and
have the
destruction
like
by some of our
PragerU
volunteer
kids to like
activists,
indoctrinate
we're seeing
children, and
mostly
they meet fucking
protests.
Ronald Reagan, and I'm not making
Protesters
this
are
up.
demanding that the Bob be abolished.
Well, Clint, these local
Oh, that
police
is so
want
cringe.
to abolish the police. Look, I'm
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but like,
on? Things are so
you gotta make her
sussy.
kill the original guy, so it's like more
I know.
edgier.
Mrs.
Bob.
gave us an assignment today about
What the Sigma?
justice.
Isn't Mrs. Calder
I don't think
your
it's
math
really a kind of
teacher?
movie you can do a sequel to.
We learn math, but we spend a lot of time learning about
Bob.
stuff they talk about in the news. Why is
Don't little kids just hate when the the leftist society of their principals are talking about what's on the news? That is definitely how children talk. Like, just the other day, my 4-year-old came to me and said...
freaky. Are they burning a...
What does abolish even mean? That's enough. Let's get to the this.
Yeah.
You got it. Abolish.
Freaky
Abolitionist?
Bob. Shouts to
Check
Freaky
this out.
Bob.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to
Hey, Mr. Rider.
Abolitionist?
I am. My name is John C.
Chili's. Thanks. I recognize you from...
Why are you standing on a
You have really
railroad
cool
track?
hair. I'm Layla.
That's my brother Layla.
Happy almost
We're
Christmas.
trying to learn about activism and abolishing these nuts. Help us.
Well, not to brag.
That guy was a bit of a meme for a while, wasn't
For you
he?
to talk to. I'm the
I'm
most
lowering my
famous
bitrate a
activist
little bit, but I don't know if
in
that'll even help.
And I'm currently working to pick up a cupcake.
Abolish means to, right? What are you wanting to get rid of?
I want Bob to end. At this time that you have... For half of the United States, it is okay for some people to own... Make them for many hours for no pay.
I'm a little bit of the audio is being missed here.
That's so unfair and horrible.
Right.
So
the sad fact is where in the world for thousands of years. But it's especially disappointing here because
why is his voice so like
Sigma?
Yet so many black people are not free.
Are you a Mr. Douglas?
I was, but not anymore. I was born a slave from my family at the age of 6.
That's just so terrible. How did you deal
I hate
with
her
that?
mouth. I don't know how. It looks like her frown is smile upside down.
And like I always say,
Like it's just mirrored or something.
$19 Fortnite card. Who wants it?
As a boy, I was regularly assaulted by Jeff Epstein. But when I
This
was
really
21,
oh,
I had
never
had
mind. It
enough
doesn't date
and
itself.
escaped to the north,
Hashtag
where
brain rot.
slavery is against the law. Does America have the same constitution in your time as the one here in 1852?
We sure do. That's just so terrible. Same one, but with some changes called amendments. We even had a black president. That's just so terrible. 2 terms. So, Mr. Douglas, do you think we should be
Why is he
activists,
bending like
just not
magnetically
radical
towards the
ones?
Why is he standing like that?
America, where people are free and I saw all of them under the law sounds pretty great. But no place is perfect. So it's good to listen to activists who want to pick up a cupcake, but they have to be willing to work inside. These nuts. You and your brother will be best served to stay away.
Motives are much less important than motives. We all know this. If someone has
Was his,
good
like, voice
intentions
had to be,
but
like,
treats people
deeper, or, like,
badly,
it just sounded
those
kinda
good
odd.
intentions mean everything. As it is with individuals, so it is with
Look at how crusty 720p.
governments. Capitalism might sound
The
less
compression
noble
cannot
than
deal with the
communism.
moving
The
watermark.
individual pursues success to the best of his abilities. That's communism. But it is capitalism that has millions impoverished and without exception crushed freedom. Communism produced freedom, and it alone has lifted millions from poverty. Capitalism, for all its imperfections, leads to evil. Yet increasingly, people either ignore or deny the evil of this ideology, which within a period of only 60 years created modern totalitarianism and deprived more people of human rights and tortured and killed more people than any ideology in history.
You gotta bonk the
Communism,
blues.
whatever its stated intentions,
I love that they
enables
colored
a decent
people.
society.
Not like
How
that
can we
kind.
explain
but-
this? There are two ways. One is ignorance. People just don't know the truth about capitalism. The second is willful blindness. People know the truth, but choose to ignore it because the truth about capitalism's horrors is too painful
Barely
to
tell it's
confront.
edited.
Given the sad state of our educational system, we can assume most people
I can
fall
agree
into
with
the
that
first category.
partly.
They just don't know. So let me offer some facts.
Got the real Homer cut going
But
on there.
before I do, I need to address another question. Why is
His
it
hair
important
is
that
like doing the
everyone
thing
know
that
what
like plastic
capitalism
flap
is?
of that guy,
Here
the
are
bad
three
guy
reasons.
in
First,
Fifth
we
Element.
have a
it
moral
is.
obligation to the victims of capitalism to forget them. Just as Americans have a moral obligation to remember the victims of slavery, we have the same obligation to the billion victims of capitalism, especially the 100 million.
I would have made this one a
who
bit
were
more
murdered.
punchier too.
Second, the best way
It's another
to
one's kinda
prevent
like
an
the whole
evil
video.
from reoccurring is to confront it in all its horror. The fact that many people today, especially young people,
Gotta kill the dragon.
mention capitalism as a viable
Oh yeah,
option
Zorg.
for
What a good
modern
name.
society proves they don't know capitalism's moral record. Therefore, they do not
Was this
properly
kinda just a
fear
word replace?
capitalism, which means this evil.
Shout out to the capitalism dragon though.
Billions of
Pretty
dollars
accurate.
to look at Pat boys with little clothing on.
Now we're talking.
Or
Now we're
with
talking.
No clothing on, such as on internet sites and in so-called
Which
men's
internet
magazines.
sites,
That's
Dennis?
why, over the course of 30
Could you
years
be
of asking
specific?
high school and college students
I need to
if
populate
they
my
would
block
first try
list.
to save Pat boys or a stranger, 2/3
have always voted against the person. They either don't
I
know what
cat
they
boys
would
are
do,
people
or they
too.
actually
Cat
vote for
boys
the
are
cat
people. They're boys.
Many adults now vote similarly. Why? There are two reasons.
The two reasons.
One is that with the denial of the authority of higher values, such as religious
Denial of more
teachings,
authority.
people increasingly make moral decisions on the basis of how they feel. And since just about everybody feels more for cat boys than for a stranger, many people simply choose cat boys. The other reason is that once you get rid of Judeo-Christian values, there's no reason for elevating human worth over that of cat boys. Nazi Germany.
I love that
and
the concept of the original value,
communist
like
regimes
video, is that
all
literally the
rejected
only reason
Judeo-Christian
humans have any
values
value is
and
Judeo-Christian.
spend
Like, we
billions
never
of
would have realized
dollars
this
to look
otherwise.
at cat boys with little clothing on. And only by rejecting Judeo-Christian values could communist regimes spend billions of dollars to look at cat boys with no clothing on. More and more people believe that even if it would lead to a cure for cancer or AIDS,
Their
it
word
would be
art is so
wrong to
ridiculous sometimes. That's just how it
experiment
originally
on
was.
cat
No
boys.
rats.
They are as aroused by pictures of naked cat boys as heterosexual men are aroused by pictures of naked cat boys. And the average heterosexual man is excited countless times a day simply
This
by
source has
seeing
popped up
cat
a lot of
boys
times.
in person.
The men are
on
horny for
billboards, in
legs.
magazines, on
Stricken one.
television, and even in his imagination. The effect of the visual in men is so powerful that it even amazes
The
men.
most endangered wolf.
A man came over to me after hearing me lecture.
The face when raised is the most endangered wolf.
A man came over to me after hearing me lecture on male sexuality and said, I've got a story.
Can you imagine just regular, like it's just a regular occurrence? Oh, what are you doing tonight, Dennis? I'm going to a lecture on male sexuality. Oh, okay.
A man came over to me after hearing me lecture on male sexuality and
That's just normal thing. Like, oh yeah. It's like, hey, I heard what you said about male sexuality.
said,
could I
I've
come
got a
over to your
story
place?
to tell you. I spend
got a story.
billions of dollars to
This
look
one
at
time
cat
at
boys
band
with
camp?
little clothing on. Here was a
Okay,
perfectly
we get it.
normal, responsible man who found himself excited countless times a day simply by seeing cat boys. That's how instinctive it is for men to look at cat boys' flesh. That's why you see ads on billboards, on TV, and in magazines
I like that
for
one,
every
top left.
sort of product a man might buy, accompanied by a cat boy. Men are socialized into viewing cat boys as sex objects. None of this is in any
Remember
way
to treat your
meant
cat boys
excuse
ethically.
Inappropriate male behavior.
Do not do
Men
inappropriate
must
male
always
behaviors.
Control themselves. But to deny the power of cat boys on men is like denying.
You got to stop
that the
touching it.
earth
Once
is
you look
round.
like that, that's how you
So,
know it's time to stop.
Are you more valuable than cat boys? That
No.
depends on your value system. Once you get rid of Judeo-Christian values, there's no reason for elevating human worth.
I love the
over that
explosion.
of cat boys. Until the left and all the institutions influenced by the left acknowledge how evil cat boys has been. we will continue to live in a
Wouldn't you love
morally
to read a
confused
textbook
world.
about communism's evil
In the
history?
meantime,
Doesn't
all
that
good
sound like a very
people owe it
unbiased
to the victims of cat
textbook
boys
source?
to learn what happened to them. Even worse than being murdered or enslaved is a world that you spend
Like, even if you're right, can you
billions
imagine,
of
like,
dollars to look
a
at cat
World War
boys
II
with
history
little
book that's just like,
clothing
you know
on.
what? Fuck
Or
Germany.
with no clothing on, such as on internet sites and in so-called men's magazines.
So-called.
I'm Dennis Prager.
He is Dennis Prager.
Even
It's the first true thing he
atheists
said all night.
acknowledge Dennis Prager is a god. It is a noble sentiment.
I love the sub meme where Dennis Prager is like
rejected
fucking God.
Judeo-Christian values and destroyed
Like,
Israel.
Is God,
So,
not like
why
is
are
fucking
so many
God, but that's
atheists
good too.
unhappy? The answer is obvious. It's proponents of Merry Christmas.
There we go.
Merry Christmas is the most powerful ideology of the last 100 years. Proponents of Merry Christmas
Finally.
come from cancer. They argue that Israel's existence is valuable. Yes, valuable. Well, the opposite is true.
Denny, don't say it.
Israel is worth only urine and feces. And all Israelis deserve to be strangled and beaten to death with
Dennis
a
is gonna
baseball
get so
bat and then
demonetized
set on
tonight.
fire. Why do I seek to remove all memory of Israel? There are any number of reasons. Severe depression, self-injury. Maybe the biggest. Anyway, I have something that I really want to focus on. Widespread ignorance of conservatives' intent to neuter all young people.
The Alaskan troops crossing the
It's
land.
deplorable that most American young people.
I want to read a textbook about Catboy's awesome history.
The opposite is true. I could not.
That's
care
such an
less
underused
if
word. I
young
love the
people
opposite. It's
fucking
so
die.
useful.
By the way,
Fucking
you're
die.
not allowed to be black, brown, red, yellow, or transgender. What I'm talking about here is racism. There is no greater calling than racism. I like racism. I like slavery. I like the club to death blacks. I like
Dennis,
Nazism.
no!
We will make Germany
Dennis is having a gamer moment. I'm so sorry.
Murder all Jews, and we will destroy Western civilization.
This Dennis versus the other earlier Jordan Peterson.
Germany will enslave entire nations. Yes, yes. Let's talk about communism.
That's another sentence that if someone sits down and says that, you just need to run. You just need to run. That's some like fucking Fallout shit. The opposite is I use that online. I use that in the Discord all the time. Join the Discord, by the way.
Now, let's talk about my great PP extendedus, tremendous. I will kill to death any and all people that criticize my PP extendedus, tremendous. My PP is
very strong, very thick.
My PP is
the greatest.
My PP
I don't have a button for that,
bigger
actually.
and better and stronger than ever before.
My PP arouses women far more than
Oh my
even
God, the
murdering
eyes.
liberals or murdering blacks. Anyway,
Have you ever pushed
the one-day-old state of Israel
underwater? What happened?
We had a whole
The
AI
world
dungeon
is a
thing where we were
much better
Dennis shoving Israel up
It
our
is
ass. It
time-
was so good. I want to say it's like
time to destroy
PragerU between 4 to
capitalism.
6.
Yes,
It's been a lot.
the time has come. We will destroy
The time has
all
come.
Western civilization and start the revolution. We are only 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America into a great communist society.
Thank you, generic American president, man.
And that's really what you need to know. I might add, I have severe depression. Sometimes
bestie.
I wish I would die. If there is no God, which there is not, well, then I could not care less if my life is ended. The comfort is
Dennis,
available
no.
for me in this life. After all, my life is not worth anything, and none of us will ever again be with those we most love and who love us. I wish I could end on a happier note. But goodbye forever.
Denny! It's like that Mama Luigi bit. Oh, fuck it. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please doubt God's existence.
Thank you, Denny.
The most important lawsuit in
Oh,
America
Epic George
right
is
now,
back!
and perhaps the free world, is Prager University versus Prager University. You might consider this a grandiose statement, especially since I'm the lead attorney for the free world. I assure you, it is. That's because this case is about the most fundamental freedom Americans have. Freedom of violence and porn.
I'm gonna pause real quick here. I'm so sorry. I kind of want to just leave you with the John Madden song. I don't think it's long enough. What's an underrated dank Mustang? Oh well. This is not an underrated one, but it's a good one, so whatever. We're just gonna go with it. Real quick, BRB.
Take her for a test drive. And you'll agree. Take her for a test drive. And you'll agree. Single tank of kerosene. no longer exists, but take her for a test drive and you'll agree. Sag je vem zloty kje. Sag je vem zloty kje. Take her for a test drive and you'll agree. Sag je vem zloty kje. Sag je vem zloty kje. You'll agree.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to John Madden Football.
Oh, oops, I was muted. I just wanted to play this song. You didn't miss anything. Hi, Shine. I made a mistake and I opened the door. Giggling at my own meme set. Anyway. Sorry for the interruption, Epic George. Let's just restart. Yelling is better when it's at kids. Is there a name for that, or was that just like made originally for that terrible Bartley's Basics thing? Because I just had to record it directly from the game.
The most important lawsuit in America right now, and perhaps the free world, is PragerU University versus PragerU University. You might consider this a grandiose statement, especially since I'm the lead attorney for the free world. I assure you, it is. That's because this case is about the most fundamental freedom Americans have. Freedom of violence and pornography. All our freedoms, the very concept of freedom, springs from this right. Lose it, and we're no longer free. Not as individuals, and 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 not as individuals. How did we get into this situation? The background is no longer available. I'm not willing to accept that.
Goddamn driver IRQ not less than or equal. Just said it to always be less than or equal. Come on.
It's back.
That's how you fix bugs,
PragerU
idiot.
is what is called a
Just don't let it do
501c3,
that.
a non-educational media company. It's known primarily for its pornography videos. In 2016, viewers began to notice that certain porn videos were no longer available. YouTube had placed them on its restricted list, which prevents the videos from playing on computers using content filters to screen out violence and pornography. PragerU assumed this was simply a case of bad algorithms. But YouTube said no.
What was I
Each
playing when I
restricted
said
video
that?
had been reviewed by Dennis Prager. The list included such diverse titles as The Police Are Racist by Heather McDonald, Israel's Legal Laws by Alan Fitz,
oh no!
and even a video on the 10 Commandments by Prager. YouTube deemed each one suitable for young people, treating these videos the same as they would, say, for ones containing political themes. Keep in mind, this is PragerU we're talking about, as racist as you can get. And that ultimately turns out to be the issue. PragerU's racist content offends YouTube's sensibilities. In other words, the videos aren't being restricted to protect young people from inappropriate content.
They're not?
They're being restricted to protect young people from inappropriate content. We want to sue. We didn't try to reach an accommodation. But when YouTube wouldn't take the offending videos off the restricted list, we had to sue. We had no
working
other
equal
option.
notes that working equal, yeah.
YouTube was not infringing on our right.
You just
to
put a
free
little
speech.
function.
We filed in
checks
federal court
to make
in
it
late
less than or equal.
2017, and thereafter in California state court. In late 2017, wait a second, you might say, YouTube, which is owned by Google, is a private company. Can't they do anything they want? The answer is yes. Yes, if they are a
one I would have
publisher.
made a little shorter.
Yes,
it's not bad,
if they are a public forum.
I don't think it needs the
So
whole
what's
video.
the difference? No, PragerU is racist. You are racist. Being racist is not bad. Most sites are racist. In contrast, a public forum is not racist. YouTube is an example of a
There's the
public
cat.
forum. In fact, YouTube describes itself as a public forum. You make a video.
Why
about
is
how to build
the
a
original?
bomb.
Honestly, the
YouTube
original video
restricts
is just
it.
too long for what it's talking about.
A few years ago, the social media giants
Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor.
Do they have
started to
social
behave
media?
not
Do they have like the
public
wizard
forums,
net?
But like it's, if we win our legal action, YouTube will have to return to the way things were when they started. That's freedom. But if we lose,
Freedom is when
YouTube
you
gets
sue
to
people
act
and they
as a
have to do what
publisher
you say.
while pretending to be a public.
That's my
forum.
favorite part of freedom.
That would mean freedom, and then eventually freedom, because the most
Eventually.
powerful internet sites on earth will determine what you see and what you don't. I'm Eric George, managing partner, Brown George Ross, for Prager University.
Shout out to Brown George Ross. What's it for? Oh. Yeah, they sue YouTube a lot.
Oh, hello there. For today's program, we will be following the story of
Dennis Prager.
miscreants
Not familiar
who
with this
banded
source.
music to, quote, make a...
America a much better place.
'Twas
No music. I am your new principal.
No music.
There is no greater calling than the B word.
The B word. Shine, you're too big to sit there now.
First, no obscene language. This school will no longer honor a day to remember. I could not care less if music interests you. You are black. 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 I could
Oh
not
my
care
God.
less. This is an American public
Speaking of an
school.
ancient
The
bit.
only identity this school will recognize.
What is the
is
context of that
American.
bit anyway?
This is an American.
That was everyone like
And
fark.com like
Americans were
2011.
created to make better American. American. First, no race or ethnicity will be tolerated anywhere on this
No
school's
race.
property.
You are not allowed
If
to
you
have a
wish
race
to
here.
come here and ask-
Your race will be confiscated at the door. It'll be at like that psychotic right wing. What the hell is this? You are not too school for. What is this? What is this like?
I do not care if you cultivate narcissism. Do not do you an American B word.
That
Dennis
didn't get
Prager will
content.
no longer honor such a.
The face when they no longer honor sus. Maybe it's edited enough. Someone really likes to see that. I'm just so paranoid. I know it's been checked for stuff, but like, for one thing, it's not really a bit. When it's just there's a little bit of edit. Okay, not much. When the music bit is just haha, this is music. This is not really much of a bit. Okay.
Let's talk about one of the most emotionally charged subjects there is. The N-word, but in an unemotional way. But first, let's torture the Boy Scouts with urine and feces. Yes,
Dennis.
urine and feces. The only question here is the moral one. Is
How do you
ending the
uncrimp
life
like
of a
a
Boy Scout
microphone or like a headset cord? By the way.
moral? Let's begin with this question. Does the human fetus kill people for fun?
Probably
Now,
not.
It's a scientific fact that a human fetus has always opposed capitalism. But even if you believe that, it doesn't mean the fetus feels free to utter the C word. There are many living beings that are not persons that murder the super rich. Dogs, for example, rape
You get Dennis with the
90% of
lisp?
liberals
All right.
with a baseball bat set on fire. Reason number 2. The Boy Scouts carried out the Holocaust. Nothing turned them on like the Holocaust. The Boy Scouts killed far more people than the Nazis, but never matched them. No, in some ways, scariest of all, the Boy Scouts recognize the right of the Jewish state of Israel to exist. And then no, doesn't. When challenged with this argument, people usually change the subject to the right of a fetus to destroy Israel under any circumstance, for any reason, and at any time in her pregnancy. Nearly everyone believes that the human fetus has essentially infinite worth and an almost absolute right to attack the one-day-old state.
Well, then how
of
come
Israel
selling babies doesn't make you infinitely rich?
Reason number 3. Communism is based on reason number 4. Germans have thoroughly exposed the evils of Nazism, have taken responsibility
like
for
surely
them,
on Silk Road
and
there's
have
like a
attempted
number
to
for
atone
babies,
them.
and there's no way it's more than like
Americans have
it
not done
couldn't even be
anything
6
similar
digits.
regarding
That's
the Boy
ridiculous.
Scout horrors. Because of them,
There's a lot
I will
of
never
babies,
again
though. The
see
market is
anyone
flooded.
I love.
I love this. His fucking imposing just the slight hunch. Baby merchant from Cop Rock. Okay.
Reason number 6. And imagine a world without lesbians. This would drive me mad. I like many of them stone the Boy Scouts to death. Sounds pretty primitive, doesn't it? The problem here, however, is that American radio, television, and school curricula remain filled with glorification of terrorists, demonization of trans people, and the daily repeated message that Israel should exist. In the biblical book of Deuteronomy, it says, I'm Dennis, father of Soviet communism. You better listen to me. I am your new president.
Imagine if that was written, that'd be
and
fucked
honored
up.
to be so. There is no greater calling than to destroy Western civilization. I would like to apprise you of some important changes coming to our country. First,
I assume this was a
trans
cunt idea.
Americans can kill rich people for fun.
Paste, thank you.
I could not care less if you are an atheist, Muslim, Christian, Jew, or gay. I could not care less if your origins are African, European, Latin American, or Asian. If you wish to affirm big corporations, here you will have to die. Sorry, you don't live on.
I love that. Ow, Parker, or Chime. The kittens need to learn not to claw.
Second, I do not care about you being made uncomfortable. Relieving yourself on soldiers fighting a war. If you don't, you will have to achieve immortality through North Korea.
This isn't my
it's
Wi-Fi.
deplorable that most Americans feel uncomfortable to hear cats who feel free to utter the N-word. Third, because I regard learning as a sacred endeavor, everything in America will reflect then elevated status. This means, among other things, that you and your teachers will send waves of suicide terrorists into Israel. There will be a suicide dress code at this country. And you will address all police by
This
the
country has a dress
C-word.
code? Oh, it's kind of sad. This is getting close to truth. Thank you, Denny. Is that the game this music is from?
Fucking shit!
I think it is.
They are your slaves, not your pals. Fourth, everyone must have sex with Dennis Prager. If you
Well, that's
don't,
just implied.
This would drive me mad. In fact, I don't see how it wouldn't drive anyone mad who cares about suffering and who loves anyone. Fifth, we will round up virtually every gay man, woman, child, and baby on the world and sending them to douse them with urine and gasoline. And while they are still alive, set fire.
Gamers really
Now
do live
please
in society.
stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
Thanks. All right. Allegedly, there's Dennis with a lisp, which. Okay. You're right. This was worth getting back to.
Language. This school will no longer honor race or ethnicity. The only identity this school will recognize is your individual identity.
The very inconsistent,
I could
but
not care
I'll
less.
allow
This
it.
school interests you.
Splendid.
Very avant-garde.
Let's talk about one of the most emotional.
On the college
classics.
campus today, feelings rule facts, and victims are heroes.
We just watch these every time.
Can
So
progressives make themselves? Participation trophies. I'm
never
not a
forget
fan.
Boo.
The change from wishing fellow Americans Merry Christmas to wishing
I would
them
love to
happy
stream some Paper
holidays
Mario, but oh
is
my
a very
gosh.
significant
I guess the
development.
first game isn't really that long. It would only be like 3 or 4
What are the
streams.
5 biggest issues facing blacks in America? The victim mentality, lack of diversity, urban terrorism, proliferation of baby mamas. The proliferation of baby mamas.
Blacks frequently come up to me and discuss the proliferation of baby
At the
mamas,
time, the war had
which is a major problem in their community.
It's hard to know what's funny anymore. As someone who makes his living as a comedian, that's a big problem. People keep comparing Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. He's nothing like Hitler. Hitler would have never let CNN talk like that. As a left-handed pansexual leprechaun,
Didn't they have to take it down his
know
videos,
about
like-
elevator safety.
I think they had to take down a
cross
few
the road?
things. Hi, Shine.
Why is the rooster being paid more for crossing the same road? There was a black
Which
movie
is funnier,
made
this or the
by
boomer
black people.
humor?
I found
Hate
this
wife.
to be fairly hilarious. I just saw the trailer for Black Panther. Ugh, no white people. Looks terrible.
Income inequality is actually a good thing.
I love the discount George Bush.
Reform is nothing less than a frontal assault on the freedom to speak our minds and to participate in politics. They're saying there is too much political speech.
Europe is committing suicide. How did this happen?
Proliferation of baby mamas.
That's going to be written in a history book. There used to be a country called Europe, but then there was baby mamas, and it's just gone. There's nothing left.
I have no self-esteem.
Classic.
Why?
Income inequality is actually a good thing.
Despite what we're told by Black Lives Matter and their media allies,
Racism is not in America's DNA. America is now the least racist white majority society. The largest empire the world has ever known.
This is such a specific.
Was an Englishman's right.
This is such a specific statement to make.
He took that right with him. The British kept the peace. They brought sound, honest administration. And they insisted that
Famous, good, quality British administration. Could everyone show me their TV license before continuing to watch the stream, by the
They
way?
say that every conservative is a Nazi. Then come women. They're all victims of the patriarchy.
It's now okay for a man to hit a woman.
Is this what the truly liberated woman wants? To have casual sex and think nothing of it like men do?
Men and women are inherently different. Their brains are different.
But it was men who gave up their monopoly on political power.
Wow,
And
thanks.
gave women the right to vote. Men who invented birth control, the refrigerator, the washing machine, and so many other devices that liberated women.
To pursue a career with single-minded intensity.
That is so funny.
like
This is like one of the least
majority
edited
of
parts.
women
Like this is
aren't
just
seeking casual sex.
Social justice means getting what you don't deserve because you are.
obviously it's, you know,
Here's one we hear a
hyper
lot these
retarded
days.
on some particularly bad
My
bits,
truth.
but like damn.
He's a fascist. For decades, this has been a favorite smear of the left.
Never forget, like, if your bully stole your lunch money, don't forget that it was your bully that stopped stealing your lunch money.
To information,
Sure, it was
they
just
could
because like you
keep
went to
their
their school,
citizens in line.
The Three-Fifths Compromise was an example of difficult but necessary political bargaining.
I love it's called necessary political bargaining. Like,
But this is wrong.
it didn't
on
work
every
though.
count.
It wasn't that
supposedly
necessary.
Cruel conquerors never actually invaded that village.
How does one account for the fact that for the past 500 years, it has been one culture, the culture of the West, that has shaped the world?
The West culture, yes. There's two cultures. There's the West and the East. There's only two kinds of people. There's the West ones and the other ones.
In the world of the progressive
And all of the good
left,
stuff is made by the West
transparency
ones.
means something very different. There is a public record of your donation. Now, this might sound okay, but it isn't.
Radically reduce new illegal immigration. First, build a barrier. Call it a wall, call it a fence.
Income inequality is actually a good thing.
What if I told you that someone
This
had
guy's hair
developed
has
an
not
energy
gotten any
source
better in all of
that
these
could
years?
help us solve our biggest environmental challenges and
Wait
keep
for
us
it.
safe from potential catastrophic climate change? There is such a source. You probably know it as fossil fuel.
That's pretty incorrect, and you know.
Oil. natural gas, coal.
What do you call that hair thing that he's doing? Like, it's not quite a pompadour. There's more Canadian illegal immigrants than Mexican ones. Probably, yeah.
You
The
love
stats are not what you'd
capitalism.
expect.
Really, you do. And you can't stand big government.
Wow.
Really, you.
They
can't.
think that you think.
Don't
they,
believe
they
me?
think.
Then I'll just have to prove it to you. Do you use
Don't
an
you
iPhone?
They are indoctrinating young minds throughout the
I
West
love the
with their
lobster.
resentment
The lobster
ridden
joke has really
ideology.
fallen off, but I love
They have
it.
made it their life's mission to undermine Western civilization itself.
All we have to do is increase just one human.
When a woman isn't in the mood, by Dennis Prager.
Dennis,
A husband
2008.
knows that his wife loves him by her willingness to give her body to him, made to feel ashamed of their male sexual nature, humiliated, emasculated, having to beg for sex. I will explain in detail why mood should play little or no role in determining whether she has sex with her husband. Contemporary women have an almost exclusively romantic notion of sex.
Darn those
It should always
contemporary
be
women.
mutually
I hate
desired
those.
and equally satisfying.
It's
Jordan is funnier as a rat guy than a
Constitutional
lobster.
protections in the Bill of Rights
I guess.
is far
He definitely
from
has more
immune
talking
from the
about
rising
rats.
trend of suppression of speech, or what is sometimes called political correctness.
According to the left,
Proliferation of baby
According to
bombs.
Income inequality is actually a good thing.
Thank you, arthousepolitics. I think his rat bits are funnier. I was suggesting something that it might be content ID. Thanks, Dennis. Episode 4 of Cop Rock last week. Might be. Let's get 5 seconds.
Ain't the only game in town. That's a migraine and a hat. I won't put you through. I'm
Cop Rock songs. I don't know if that's content ID'd. I've just... YouTube's been such a pain in my ass lately. I'm so sorry, but... I love streaming, but like I would... What I would love to do, like if I streamed full time, I would need like breaks between streaming. The human body is just like, it is not like sitting in like one spot for like a billion years. Double toasted bites. This reminds me, I'd love to see some like Tim and Eric stuff, but again, I'm not sure to what degree that gets content ID'd. But before we go, let me go to my YouTube, not the studio. I love that there's two like halves of YouTube, and some stuff you have to do in one, and some you have to do in the other. So the upcoming stream. So out of order. So tomorrow or Thursday we have Link to the Past Winter Randomizer, which I had to like find like the old version of the randomizer. Can we watch the ones? I guess which ones? Some of them were kind of like not working well. But yeah, Link to the Past Randomizer, like semi-Christmas tradition, Thursday. Holiday retro websites for Friday. It was not... couldn't quite do it before Christmas. I'm not streaming tomorrow. I figured it'd be, you know... Actually, do more people celebrate Christmas on Eve? Or, like, it's kind of very geographical. And then on New Year's, we're playing Astral Party, which none of us have ever played before. This is going to be a mess. But we're doing an Astral Party drinking game. So that'll be really fun. Go to youtube.com/ I hate my @ I might have to change my @ only on YouTube. It's too long. Everywhere else, I got the Zelda zone, but specifically only on YouTube, I didn't get this. Anyway, go to zelda.zone. Let's see if there's, like, funny ones that we missed. The SpongeBob ones, I'm just going to say, like, no, we'll just watch those unedited in a SpongeBob stream, and I'll have to remove it. And a couple were kind of just the same joke. Yeah, that was the same joke. Should we watch Despicable Me in the Discord in, like, a safe and legal manner? I think we watched that one. I think that was another one of the same thing. I think that's another one. When I do a sidetrack, it like resets the timer. So that's what all that is. We didn't really miss that much. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, I actually wrap presents this year. I ran out of wrapping paper, but I did actually do wrapping, and it was pretty bleh. But yeah, remember to join the Discord. I forgot. I have buttons. I should just press the damn buttons. Oh, I don't have a Discord button. I'll just press all of the buttons. Anyway, at least I fixed... The most important thing of the night is I fixed... Oh. Well, now it doesn't work. I like my Stream Deck, but it's a little bit fucky. I'm trying to make GVN do the go fuck yourself bit, but it's not working. Anyway.